We're live. We're live here for the Sunday afternoon show. With a little help, I got Jules here on the panel. What's good?
Yo, what's up, so?
And we are here as normal for a CBM Geek analysis, the business behind it. And we got some rumors. Sometimes they hit, sometimes they don't. This is an interesting source of news, Jules, right? We kind of look at these outlets.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty egregious out here, so we're just gonna have to discuss it a little bit, use our brains. What's real and what's not.
And and what's cap and what's hot, as I say. And so sometimes there's some jewels in these things, and sometimes I'll just let y'all be the judge on this one. Much love to Silver Nation. I see in the chat we got Yovik. I see Boom Mac trying to stay warm. Yeah, I'm bundled up. Jules on the East Coast there. I think you already frozen in, ain't you?
I am. I'm wearing my hoodie too. I got my fuzzy socks on. I got heaters on everywhere.
Jules is ready for this. And like I said, here in Louisville, we're expecting a little snow. So that means I get a few days off. So that's all good.
Yeah, I got a little dust
with that. A little dust. We got Jules in the chat. Okay. All right. So interesting topics today. The main one I think people are going to want to talk about is the latest Zack Snyder rumor. We've been hunting some down. This one's unique because it's kind of a wrinkle to this one. We'll get to it. We'll get to it later. And then we got some news items as well. So this is going to work out great this Saturday because, again, I have Jules here to bounce some things off of. Being real cool with Jules for a few years now, so I know we're going to disagree on like half these stories today.
You think so? All right.
I think so. I
don't know. Still might be being too nice again. You guys know how he is.
Oh, see, here we go. Instant capping. So let's go ahead and get to the before we get to again the rumor stuff. Let me throw this up here real quick. Any Super Mario fans out there?
They got Fire Mario.
Galaxy. Fire Mario and Luigi. This is an exclusive picture they just dropped, and we're getting an update about this movie. I think this weekend.
I got really excited.
That's why I say I have a few surprises for you, Jules. I know Jules well enough. You, of course, you like the first one, right?
Yeah.
The first Mario movie.
When I need some good vibes, I pop on some Mario.
Yeah, that's a go-to movie. I mean, I remember when it first came out. It's like it had that moment in the movie where they had that side scroll thing, like he was in the game. Mm-hmm. And I was like, this is an instant classic. Like immediately,
it was great. I was like, damn, I should have watched this in the theater.
Yeah, we got to get Jules to the theater in 2026. I tell you,
I know, talking all that shit.
Kind of like it.
I gotta start.
I'm just saying because we're gonna have plenty of theatrical stuff to talk about this year.
The slate for 2026 is looking pretty good.
Yeah, because see, Mario comes out in April, and I don't know if this comes across small for y'all, but it's sort of every year in films, it always starts off with like low budget stuff, and then we get to spring and summer. It's gonna get kind of nuts. This year, the Super Mario Galaxy is in April. The Michael Jackson movie is the same month. I think that's gonna be huge.
I didn't even know they were doing that.
Yeah, April 24th. And then we get towards the summer. I mean, you got the Mando. And since I have Jules here, like I said, I could bounce some stuff off her here. So Mortal Kombat, were you not feeling the first one, or?
I mean, everybody was disappointed, and rightfully so, because they could have done so much with it. They didn't need to make any original characters for the movie, so I understand all those gripes. Again, I watched it from my couch like all of us did during COVID, so I wasn't that disappointed with it. But that could also just be because I didn't pay to watch it because I had the subscription. I'm sure I would have been probably more upset if I actually made a trip to the theater, bought a ticket, and went through that.
Right. So I wonder with the sequel. I mean, they're going to make it bigger, right? But I just think like later this year, Street Fighter in October, I think it's going to blow because you're going to have to compare, those films.
Street Fighter is actually looking pretty good, and they know their audience, and Mortal Kombat completely dropped the ball there. So the fact that these two movies are coming out around, like they have franchises going on at the same time, is pretty cool.
Definitely. Any other films kind of popping up to you, and you can't say Spider-Man or Avengers.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. I'm
Wait a
curious
minute,
with the Odyssey, Masters of the Universe. I want to see what they do there because I'm a fan of He-Man.
hmm
Um, I didn't even watch Toy Story 4. It ended with 3 for me. I'm a millennial. It is what it is. Let's see. Street Fighter. I'm interested. Hunger Games. I'm getting more of those. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't hear too much about that one.
Yeah, and Dune. I
That's
guess
what's up.
those are probably the main ones.
Yeah, I think, and I'm just gonna cheat and say, yeah, Spider-Man and Avengers is what
You
I'm
literally
looking
told me I couldn't say those.
Well, we gotta have variety of tastes here. So,
Yeah. Okay.
but no, Spider-Man's gonna be huge. I on my Patreon, I think we talked about the leak trailer, but once you see the trailer, it's not gonna be fair. Spider-Man is not gonna be fair.
Yeah.
They
I mean,
can
I
slow it
hope
down.
they go hard on that one. I mean, the last
Yeah.
couple Spider-Man movies were pretty disappointing. So
Like No Way Home, the
that the
latest
last
one.
I still
Yeah.
haven't watched it.
Okay, I'm really gonna start doing these watch
I
alongs.
mean,
I'm serious when I say this,
he's been saying this for like over a year.
but it's gonna happen now. We're gonna pick a day. It'll probably be with the members here, but we're gonna pull Jules in there. And I know one film I want to watch. I don't know if you've seen yet. Is the director's cut of Ben Affleck Daredevil?
I'm not watching
Yeah,
that.
you're not watching it.
No.
You have to.
No, I don't.
Like, if one of these days I'm gonna see an invitation, you're gonna be like, "Oh, we're just gonna do a stream," and it's gonna be Ben Affleck Daredevil.
There's this button. It's called log out.
We're gonna somehow hack your StreamYard.
all my screens in my apartment. It's just all gonna be Daredevil.
What are you against? Why are you against that movie?
Because it was corny as hell. I mean, and then Ben Affleck is like not even in shape. He's wearing like a burgundy leather suit. It was made during a time where comic book movies were basically a joke.
Yeah, that's a reason, I guess. But the director's cut is better. That's all.
How much better could
that
it possibly be?
Well,
there wasn't much to work
it.
with there.
We have to watch it to find out. But
yeah, I'm good. Take it back to my happy place. Let's talk about Mario.
Super Mario Galaxy. So again, I think what made the first film work was that, it was those callbacks to the game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe in hindsight, I wouldn't say the weak part, just one part where I was like, I'm maybe getting a little annoyed was the Bowser, the constant Jack Black. I think it's Jack Black.
Yeah. You didn't like it? That was like one of the best parts of the movie.
I like this whole Peaches song. That's great. One of my family's pets, his name is Peaches, so that's cool. But it's a little look at my personal life. But I just like, okay, but that's the only thing I could criticize though. I love the movie. I love the first movie.
One criticism that I actually heard from someone, this was a friend of mine who he's like a huge Nintendo nerd, is Peach's personality. So growing up as a tomboy, obviously I didn't really care for Peach like that, just because she was like overly girly, but they made her much more of a badass in the movie, which I personally love. But apparently Peach is a super girly girl, damsel in distress type. And it was her sister Daisy who's supposed to be the one that is more tomboyish, and they kind of like did a role reversal there. I don't know how true that is, but if that's the case, then I can understand that being an issue.
Yeah, but that's how what I'm learning is that the hardcore like lore people are the minority. You know what I'm saying? Every time,
oh,
so
yeah,
it's like,
of course.
If anyone was bothered by that, it's like, yeah.
Too bad.
So. Yeah, it's like, oh well. But looking forward again, Super Mario Galaxy this spring. As we go on here, we're gonna have a few news items, like I mentioned. But let's go ahead and start with one of our trailers here. We got a couple trailers, or teasers that we want to check out today. And let's see where we at here. If I can pull it up here, there you go. Let me turn it down because I don't want to get hit too hard here.
All that stuff that only exists in legends and bedtime stories. Talking tigers.
First off, the Castle of Grayskull, because again,
this looks so freaking good already.
Like that's dope.
CGI is like legit.
That's a dope shot, like right there, instantly.
Talking tigers, spaceships, and magic swords that can make a man as mighty as a god.
Sword looks dope.
Where I come from, that stuff is real. Why did you send me away?
I wanted you to be safe. So I sent you to a place I knew that they'd never find you. There's
Earth.
Obsession with nerd stuff and sword things. It's not a good look for human resources.
So one thing I know, people, it was some early. Overall, I think people like the trailer, and we'll continue it. But early people was like, okay, is this that same trope of he's separated from his sword, and it's going to take the whole movie for him to get it and stuff like that? I was told no. It's just like kind of like first act stuff that you're seeing in this trailer.
Okay.
And that it's going to be more, of him, obviously as He-Man.
The fact that they're putting him in like real-time Earth is taking me out of it. That excitement completely went from like 100 to like 45.
Now, not 45, like exactly. Because did you see like the old Masters of the Universe? Do you remember the old film?
No, I don't think it was circulating when the TV. I mean, the TV show or the film?
The movie with Dolph Lundgren.
No.
I think this was like late 80s, I think.
Yeah, it was 80s.
Or early 90s. And they did the whole Earth approach, right? And so either that lands or it doesn't, for some people.
Just with the cartoon. I mean, that's the OG. I don't know why they're doing this.
Well, yeah, we all wanted in that fantastical world of Eternia and everything. Now, I mean, it showed a glimpse of it here, but then it's like, hey, we're going to go to Earth too.
Boring.
So let's continue the trailer.
I know it sounds crazy, but that sword is gonna show me the way home.
A toy? Oh, he's a toy maker.
Sir, you can't do that.
Don't worry, the sword's mine.
Yeah, I like that shot.
hang on, it's about to get weird.
Nah, he's looking pretty buff.
I think they put some CGI on him or something. You
don't think he actually worked out?
Oh, he probably did. Or it's a muscle suit.
What am I supposed to do?
There's a brief shout out to Idris Elba. He pretty much could play any character at this point. I mean,
who is he?
He's a Man of Arms.
Oh, okay.
So it's like he literally just like, I'll just throw Idris Elba and let him do whatever. So that's kind of where he's at. We got the Skeletor shot
like
here.
Thor on steroids.
It's definitely part.
This is what Thor was supposed to be.
It's supposed to be like this. Exactly. That was a good shot at Skeletor.
It was, yeah.
You protect them.
Oh, Battle Cat. Okay, wow. That's dope. Okay, that's dope.
Yeah.
I don't care what anyone has to say. Yeah. That's dope right there. And like, obviously, that's the trademark, call of He-Man.
No, they got his costume like right too. Like they didn't put no shirt. Sometimes they put like a shirt on him or something like that on the guys. Like no, like you have to show it all, bear it all.
Just this is He-Man. Like if we want like the female counterparts to be like the comics or the whatever source material, then we should allow He-Man
same rule for the men.
Strut it all out. for y'all, not for make sure I say it.
Oh, look at that shot.
Yeah. Yeah, this is dope.
Wow, that looks really good.
Now
that looks great.
Now, earlier in the trailer, the Earth parts was kind of worrying you.
It was, yeah. I'm hoping it's just like showing him. I guess he's what I've got from the trailer. He must be a toy maker, just a callback to how He-Man was created. He was a toy at first, and it kind of blew up, and they made a cartoon. So maybe that's what this is. And then shortly after that, they throw him back into the fantasy element of the movie, and then we just stay there. And hopefully, we don't go back to Earth.
Right. That's what I hope. It's like this is just a setup in the first act, and he go ahead and gets his sword. Because I don't know there were early test screenings of this, and I don't know how much they're going to chop out of the first act. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
I hope we get to the sword part quicker, and
Yeah.
let's have the movie.
Everything here in the fantastical element. I don't remember the lore that much, just bits and pieces, but everything that I've seen that they showed looks amazing.
Yeah, the castle looks dope. I said the sword.
The sword looks cool. They gave it that crystal element, which is very unique.
Yeah, I did like how that looks, and like I said, the trailer. I think the trailer, like on first watch, I was just like, okay, I hope this kind of picks up, and thankfully it did. You know what I mean? Towards the back half, I think the action.
The kid got in great shape because I remember when they casted him, he was really skinny. They definitely put him on that Chris Hemsworth diet.
Or he has a muscle suit. We'll see.
I don't think you can really fake that. You could tell if it's a muscle suit. He's going to be practically naked.
Yeah. The role calls for him.
Yeah.
The role calls for a naked man, basically, for He-Man. So
he's like Tarzan with a sword.
Yeah, pretty much. And I think the action looks pretty good. This being Amazon MGM. So, they have MGM. So, they're putting money.
They're finally stepping up. Yeah.
Yeah,
I kept thinking about Thundercats with this. Like, I hope they do that next. Everybody's been wanting a Thundercats movie for like decades.
I think it has to happen with, obviously with Voltron happening. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. We got He-Man here because Amazon's doing Voltron too. And that's gonna be like a revival for, like I said, Thundercats and things like that. I think after that. So
yeah, it's like 80s cartoons. Hey, let's do it. I'm with it.
So I'm glad they're actually putting money into this. That's the only thing I was kind of worried about. I was like, are they going to kind of cheapen out, as a streamer, basically? But they bringing the money. So good stuff. Good stuff with He-Man, Masters of the Universe is what they're calling it.
Yeah.
But we know it's He-Man, of course. And that's a great shot.
That is perfect.
Really good shot. Good action. He's going in. Yeah, this day one. We'll give Jules like 3 months to watch it when it comes out.
You gotta give me time.
When it comes out in June. So
no, I definitely want to. This is like a movie you have to see it in the theater, though. It looks like it's gonna be pretty epic.
June 5th. Good stuff. Master of the Universe. Let's see. I put a poll on the YouTube side. We're also on X Twitter as well, so y'all can answer that over there. I didn't put the question over there, but on YouTube, what 2026 film are you looking forward to? And unlike Jules, I won't restrict your answers. You could pick Spider-Man or Avengers for that. So,
unfair.
I gotta put a curve to her question.
I mean, Doomsday is going to end up winning.
That film's not going to be fair, man. Avengers Doomsday, like that transcends. Yeah. When I went to Comic-Con, what was that, last year or year before?
The year before.
Year before. It was, because this year was trash. This past year was trash. 2024, when RDJ announced he was back, it's like, at first it's like geek heaven out there. So it's just everyone just loves the genre. And maybe some extra glazing, glazers out there. But it was like grandmas. There's like people in wheelchairs in Hall H, and that was cheering for RDJ. I was like, this is a $2 billion film. You got grandmas cheering, So yeah, that's a wrap. That's a wrap for that. So we'll see.
I feel like the audience is hungry for it too. They just want like a good cape film, like a superhero film, and I think we're finally going to get one, especially after watching Fantastic Four and what this new phase or era for the MCU is. Like, they started off pretty strong, and I feel like the Avengers is going to kind of probably do with the next film that they come out with, like what happened with Black Panther. Like, we saw Black Panther and Civil War, and then all of a sudden, that movie ended up making $1 billion. It like transcended all kinds of audiences, and this next film has the potential to do the same thing for the next Marvel movies that come out afterwards.
No, definitely. I remember you just got a chance to see Fantastic Four. What did you feel like? I think you said it was a decent film, but did you feel overhyped?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't hyped enough. I mean, the movie was fantastic. For lack of a better term, I didn't mean to do that, but
you totally did that on purpose. I need like a drum noise.
It was great. It was great. I loved it. They did the period piece beautifully. It was a way to give us something different. It was like retro futuristic. Yeah, I mean, couldn't ask for anything more from the film. Like I loved all the characters. What the hell was that?
I was looking for a noise for.
You do that outside of the stream, not while you're live. You don't experiment while you're live.
we gotta keep her on our toes here, but but yeah, it was fantastic though. That sums up.
Yeah.
Your thoughts were fantastic for us. She was like, "What is going? Are we under attack?" Or interesting. We'll have another teaser to look at in a moment, but let's transition to, I guess, a little. Let me see. Actually, okay, let's go to this story.
More 80s stuff.
Since we was talking about Masters of the Universe, we got I guess like an update of Voltron. All right, so got a chance. Let me pull this up here. And also I heard a few things on the side with this, so let's throw this up here. Voltron plot details revealed, actually, and it includes Henry Cavill's role.
That's what I want to know.
Leaked out. Yeah, as
probably
well,
like a general or something.
Yeah. So the main thing with this is Voltron. Let's see, I don't know when this is supposed to release.
The next year? I thought it was supposed to come out this year.
I think it's next year. Let me double check here. Voltron release
date.
2020. It says 2026. And I don't think I have it on my schedule that always gets outdated.
This June? No.
I don't think it'll be this June. Let's see. Is it on my schedule thing? Let me pull it up.
No, I didn't see it.
I don't remember seeing it. No. So they probably just didn't pick a date yet. If they were smart, let me see. This is
pretty packed summer.
I think they may hold it to the end of the year.
That's what I'm thinking. It would have to be before Dune, before Jumanji.
Well, and I wonder too, since Amazon's behind Masters of the Universe and Voltron, maybe they'll push Voltron to next year. I'm
thinking that too. Yeah,
that's maybe what they're doing. Because if you want that summer, because they didn't pick a release date. They're not even committed to theatrical, which they should be for Voltron. So hopefully they get that right.
I hope so too. Voltron is huge, especially with like Gen X and the boomers.
Yeah, you want to capitalize, like I said, a summer audience. That's summer.
Mm-hmm. It's a summer movie.
Summer vibes there. So okay, so Voltron plot details revealed. We don't know the release date yet. One thing we want to point out. Okay, plot details. It says after his mother's death, a grieving Earth teen uncovers a devastating truth. She was a Voltron pilot. So this is a continuation of the old cartoon series. That's the first thing.
Right.
That's what they're doing. Okay. Yeah, it's a sequel film, which is interesting how they're going to do this. Like, kind of a generational thing.
Oh, interesting.
It mentioned
Henry is obviously the leader.
He's let's see. It says when the tyrant Zarkin breaks free from imprisonment, launches a brutal assault on Altia, the little boy. He gets his whole team together, right? So we understand that. Who's playing who? Mm-hmm. We got Henry Cavill is king of Altia.
Okay.
Now he would be the son of Princess, I think Allura from the cartoon. So
she was the one in the pink uniform.
She was a princess of that land, so she wasn't commanding anything, but she as far as a Voltron, but he is basically royalty, so he's going to take on that mantle, of the leader of that area, Altia. And what I heard with Henry Cavill is not in this article, but he's definitely going to have some action scenes, of course, and he is more of a supporting role, but it's Henry Cavill is going to be in some good action scenes is what I heard with this film. So interesting choice, having him playing the king and kind of like a warrior type king, I think is what he's going to do.
That's pretty cool. I mean, you can't waste Henry and not have him doing some kind of action scenes. That's just who he is now. And everybody knows he's like a big nerd too. So that's what he wants to be doing. Exactly.
So the movie is more obviously of the kids, commanding the Voltron, but then Cavill's going to be in the action too. So at first I thought he was going to do like a villain type thing. And I was like, that was cool. Like in Mission Impossible, but I was like, Cavill don't have to be the villain of everything.
No,
he got that enough. but the villain is a Sterling K. Brown
That's a great
in this
cast.
film. And
He's
I'm,
really
I'm
good.
hearing, I'm hearing that he's brought it like in the test screenings. He's gotten high marks. The
Good.
villains in this film. So
I've been wanting to see him with like a breakout cinematic role. I feel like he's never really gets like those really prominent roles, and he has the acting chops for it. So that's great to hear.
yeah. So we'll see how that comes together. But it's cool to kind of know the angle of this film. It's it is a sequel to the old cartoon series, and Cavill's going to be in the action. So we shall see. We shall see how that goes with Voltron. Hype level for you and Voltron at the moment?
I'm very interested in the movie. The only issue is we've seen absolutely nothing from them. I mean, they started production already. Like, it's supposed to be coming out soon, apparently. We haven't seen any set pieces. We haven't seen any teasers, even images or concept art, nothing. So I don't even know what the suits look like. I don't know what I think Voltron is the mechanical thing, right? Yeah, I don't know what he's gonna look like altogether, what all the lions look like when they're alone. Is it gonna have a Transformers feel? I hope they're not going the Power Rangers route. It's like, what are we doing here? Like, I wish they would give us something.
I think the look of this, because just like with Masters of the Universe, like they had to get that look right. With He-Man and Castle Grayskull and obviously Skeletor. That's like their money shot. So with Voltron, I think it is all about the robots. Like it has to look cool, but not like you said, not like a carbon copy of Transformers.
Right.
So hopefully they get that right. But again, this is the same people that's behind Masters of the Universe. Right?
That's good.
So,
I mean, and the fact that Henry is a part of this, like, Henry's not going to be taking any BS. Like, he's going to want to make sure it's close to the source material.
And then plus with that being with Amazon, that's where he's doing his Warhammer stuff. So it's going to be some quality. I mean, I think Voltron's going to be pretty, quality worthy from Amazon MGM. So
hopefully it's a sleeper. People don't hear about it, and then all of a sudden it comes out and word of mouth spreads and people start watching it.
So we'll see with that. We got Hoss in the chat saying, okay, Sterling, he's definitely capable of a formidable presence as a villain. He's not a stranger to dramatic performances. I think he's going to kill it. I think.
Yeah, he's good.
As far as again the test screenings, he got the highest marks of everyone. Everyone liked Cavill. I mean, Cavill. I think Henry Cavill's in this film to really just market it because it was kind of like a favor. He jumped into this film because they're doing his Warhammer stuff. So Cavill's not the focus of the film, but you market this film showing as much Cavill as possible. I think you just show us entire scenes in the trailer. And
I can't wait to see what kind of fantastical king in that kind of a sci-fi universe how he's going to look. Like, it should look amazing.
Cavill has the presence. You know what I mean? Like, you could sell the heck. Yeah. That's why I always said to go back to my traumatic Black Adam days is that the biggest mistake The Rock made was they should have put Superman in the third act of Black Adam so you can market the heck out of the film, right? He's like, we got Cavill in this.
That would have made this. And they didn't have a China. Maybe China would have allowed it to release in China if Henry was in it, and then they would have made like close to $1 billion.
Oh, it would have made all the money it needed to make because no one knows. When I'm talking about general audience, no one knows Black Adam. And you're like, okay, The Rock's kind of playing The Rock. That was kind of a knock on him. And you say, yo, we got Henry Cavill in this.
We got The Rock, Superman.
And it's like, bro, so that's why I think Voltron, they're gonna really bank on that. Okay, Cavill, maybe he's not the star of the film, but he is the star, in the film.
Right.
So I'm looking forward to that, to Voltron. So now we kind of know his role. A couple of different sources corroborated what this article is saying. So I'm taking this as truth as far as the plot and everything. And looking forward to Voltron.
I hope we get something soon, man. I really want Voltron to succeed. I want to be excited for it. But they need to start marketing it. I don't know what they're doing. I mean, like, we knew He-Man was, they didn't market it a lot where like we knew it was coming out now until I saw the slate, but we knew they were making it. Like, we got some casting announcements. I don't even know who's playing any of the characters, any of the Voltron.
It's like a bunch of kids. Yeah, it's like there's some young dude they cast a while ago, and I was like, okay, I don't know this kid, but okay, like.
Yeah, we haven't seen anything. Like, I mean, we didn't know who that He-Man kid was either, but now he looks great in the trailer. So I don't know. Well, so maybe they're
Yeah.
going to do the same thing with this, and like right before it comes out, they'll do a little splash.
If I'm gonna guess, because like I said, it's speculation that it's supposed to come out this year. They haven't committed to a theatrical date. I'm thinking after Masters of the Universe, because again, Amazon's behind both of these. So Voltron and Masters of the Universe. So I think after He-Man comes out, I think that's when they're going to be like, okay, let's start, pushing. Yeah. So I don't mind if they wait till next year. I actually don't mind.
I think they should, because this year is stacked. I don't know about 2027, but we got all the big Marvel movies out of the way this year. So 2027 it looks a lot safer for something like Voltron, it really is like a test. You're just throwing that out there and seeing how it does.
Yeah. And I think, you kind of want to stay away from this summer. Like, if I pull this up again, you kind of want to stay away from this summer. I mean, obviously you already got Masters of the Universe, but then
you got Mandalorian, Grogu too. We got you got Mortal Kombat. Then you got Supergirl as far as like action films, Spider-Man, Street Fighter. It's too much. That's
too much. Like, let's say even the fall's not good, and then if you wait till after the fall, you're gonna get eat up by Avengers
and Jumanji.
Yeah, that's
every
a decent
Jumanji
franchise.
movie made $1 billion, I think.
I believe so. I know they were all profitable, so it this ain't the best year to kind of you're trying to launch something kind of newish with Voltron or something different.
Right.
I would steer clear. I would do like a spring release 2027. That's what I would do.
Yeah.
Make sure you get into theaters. Don't forget Smurfs. We're not going to talk about Smurfs. That was kind of an inside joke with the chat. Because a lot of people this past summer, Superman 2025. A lot of people was like Smurfs is going to take out Superman. I was like, let's be. I understand if you don't like.
I mean, yeah, no.
I understand
Maybe
if you don't like.
A handful of kids would have rather gone to Smurfs.
But it's like, let's be realistic, because even if you don't like James Gunn's style, and again, I didn't think that it wasn't epic enough for me, the Superman, even though I gave it a chance. It's still Superman, and that brand, the Smurfs ain't taking out Superman. so that was just silly. Now, just for no reason, I'm putting up this shot because I know this will make Jules excited. Cyclops, Avengers Doomsday.
So good.
Like that's just gonna be nuts. I just needed a reason to bring it up.
That. Oh my god, I just got those.
I just had to find a reason to bring that up. But with God to bring you back, I brought up Superman. That's all you got kind of quiet. We gotta get Cyclops, and that make things better. So
I already forgot about Superman when you brought that up. Oh my god, Cyclops.
Now, before we're going to get to some little business stuff before we get to the more of the rumors, especially the Zack Snyder stuff that we want to touch on. But since I got you here, Jules, this is, again, usually me and Jules catches up when we get a chance, and I kind of throw stuff at her. So now we're doing this live. This is like a live look at our DMs. No, this is they don't want that. But the Batman Part 2. Sebastian Stan was cast. They're saying Harvey Dent, Two-Face. What's your initial thoughts? Just general thoughts on that.
It's hard for me to get excited for the Batman because the first one was so boring. Sorry.
Yeah.
If you hear him.
Yeah. Real life here.
Yeah, I live by a hospital. So yeah, I mean, it's hard to get excited for this. I just feel like it's gonna be another 3-hour snooze fest. No matter how many times they try to make Robert Pattinson cool, he's just not cool, man. Like, there's nothing you could do. He doesn't want to bulk up. He looks like an emo kid. Like, I'm not getting excited about Batman, even if the rogues look amazing. If Batman sucks, then what are we doing? Like, they both have to be equally, like, on equal footing, and right now they're not.
So with there's reports coming out that they're putting more VFX in Part 2 of Batman, and people are wondering if Reeves is going to go more fantastical. Actually,
of course they're going to do more CGI. How are they going to do Two-Face? Duh.
It could be practical, right?
Yeah, no, they even used the CGI in Nolan's TDK. Like, it was not all practical. It was impossible. Half his face is gone.
Yeah,
unless they're going more with this type of look, but still, like, that's not
right.
practical.
So I wonder though, like, because we know, I mean, obviously they tipped their hand on as far as Two-Face, and People are wondering who ScarJo. As far as is ScarJo going to have like a dual role? Because I still think they're going to do some Phantasm stuff with that, and that's all sounding again grounded. If they throw in the Court of Owls, that's grounded. So VFX, I guess that would be just like you said, Two-Face. That's probably just what that's for.
Assuming it's just Two-Face.
You know,
who else?
overall
Do we know who she's playing yet? No.
Supposedly Harvey Dent's wife.
Oh.
Yeah, and so that's what people are saying. Oh, she
That's
obviously is doing like a undercover role or something, with her character. And most people are are thinking of you saw the old animated film, Mask of the Phantasm, Batman.
I haven't seen it in years, but I remember loving it as a kid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's going to be another watch along. No, it's playing. But but so people are wondering if they're going to kind of you mash these roles together, and it's like, oh, she's just playing Harvey Dent's wife, but she may be undercover Phantasm. That'd be cool. That'd be cool if they do that. So Hall says Bratman. Oh, feels like he went into the bat suit straight out of boarding school.
Seriously, he does.
I mean, like I said,
he looks like he played cricket, and then that's how he got in shape a little bit, and then he just threw on the suit and just started eating up homeless
people. Famously, he said he wasn't going to work out.
I remember
for the Batman. So I remember a little backlash with that, but I'm of the opinion again. The first Batman film, Reeves Batman, I fell asleep in the theater. When I saw it, and I had an advanced screening, and I fell asleep.
That's so bad at a Batman movie.
But my problem with it though is it looked good. The cinematography is actually good. I like the whole Gotham feel, but it's a bad Batman film to me. Yeah. I don't like the Batman in it.
It's a bad Batman movie.
Yeah. So that's it has to be better than part one. And
that's why they're jam packing it with more villains.
Right. And see, after
less screen time for Pattinson.
After the Penguin series, I'm cool with Reeves. Gotham world. I actually think he has a good world there. Just he needs a good Batman. That's my only issue.
That was the biggest thing was them nailing Batman, and they decided to go with Robert Pattinson over what's that kid's name? The one that did Craven. He played Craven. He was
Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Yes, he was supposed to be Batman. Like he came runner up. I don't know how.
And he like a little dude.
Robert Pattinson's not big. No, he's not small. He's not that small.
No.
We had freaking what's his name playing Bane.
Tom Hardy. Well, and both of them. Christian Bale's a little too. So
right.
I'm talking about as far as stature, like short dudes.
He looked big in Craven. He didn't look short in Craven.
Mm.
From the trailer.
You like that movie? You saw the trailer? Okay.
I'm not watching that shit.
that won't be in the watch party.
No one needs to watch it. I mean, he looks great, but I can't hate watch. I don't do that to myself. That's just
I don't have enough time to hate watch anymore. I really don't. You saw it was a trailer. They're Marvel's marketing as Wonder Man series. I have no expectations at all for that show, and the shields are out early, and they're just like, "Oh, this is the best Marvel show since Dark Knight." And stuff like that.
I'm gonna just say, I think Marvel kind of destroyed whatever good faith anyone had in their TV shows, because there were so many of them that were bad. Mm-hmm. And I don't think anyone gets excited over a Marvel TV show anymore.
It's weird because we know when Marvel started putting out a WandaVision, that was like a weekly event.
People were hyped. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna watch it.
To the twist, Ralph Boner, that they kind of they didn't land that one that well, but and Loki, I thought Loki had a couple good seasons, but like you said, that lore, like after She-Hulk and Secret Invasions and things like that, I'm like, bro, here on the Eastern Standard Time, I got to stay up to 3 a.m. to watch this stuff. And if it's trash, I'm getting upset. If it's trash.
Yeah, that was crazy that you were literally watching it at 3 in the morning. Now that could wait.
This is real. This is real geek life here. So
and everything was mid. That was bad.
Yeah. Like, why did I do that to myself? Right. Yeah.
And then with the Captain America TV show was bad too with Winter Soldier.
Falcon Winter Soldier. Like it started off with promise, but like you said, just it didn't
fell
land.
off. No, it was bad. All of them were really bad shows. Almost all of them. And I liked WandaVision. Loki, I thought it was okay.
Loki's pretty good.
But it wasn't good enough for me to like, oh yeah, season 2, I'm excited.
So now with Wonder Man, I think it comes out Tuesday.
No hype whatsoever.
It's an 8-episode season. Okay. And they're dropping it all at the same time. Like even with Ironheart now, people are divided by Ironheart. I actually thought with Ironheart, if they didn't try to lean into too much of the politics of it, that would have just been just like a show. You could be cleaning the house, and Ironheart's like, oh, that's kind of decent. Yeah, it's not unwatchable to me.
Right.
And then they just threw in more. What's his name? Who's the Mephisto? They just threw in Mephisto for some reason. I was like, okay, when it's fitting that. But even with Ironheart, they didn't just dump all the episodes at one time. Wonder Man. Wonder Man, they're dropping all 8 episodes Tuesday night. And that doesn't show a lot of confidence in the show that you want people talking about. Yeah, it's a Tuesday. That's one thing, because Thursday is more prime time, I think. And then you want people to talk about it week to week. At least with Ironheart, we had a couple of days to talk about 3 episodes, and then they dropped the finales. Wonder Man's like all at once. It doesn't show a lot of confidence, is my point, Jules.
I don't even know why they even went ahead and made it without any marketing. The average person is going to look at Wonder Man and be like, oh, is this related to Wonder Woman? You know, like
where's this Wonder Woman?
It just slipped out when you said his name. You said Wonder Woman instead. Like everyone's going to do the same thing. Like they didn't differentiate that. I mean, they didn't market it at all. But you know, obviously they didn't. Why even go forward with this if you guys know it's going to be bad?
Well, and so what I heard with Wonder Man, it's not a lot of action at all.
Oh God!
In the entire 8 episodes,
so it's low budget.
It's definitely low budget. They're kind of leaning into the whole. They're trying to do like a meta play on superheroes in real life. Like either it's going to look really corny, right? It may land for some people that wants that conversation, but that's not the majority of the Marvel audience. That's my point. The viewership is going to be terrible with this show. So
yeah, that's why Disney Plus is not doing very good.
Not plussing. Hoss says Netflix MCU was tough, so tough. Punisher was the end of a good MCU TV show. Netflix Marvel was the best run of a Marvel TV show
because they weren't afraid to get serious with it. Unlike Disney.
Man, that first season of
Daredevil,
Jessica Jones,
I love
Purple Man. That first season was nuts. That they nailed that, and they had a good female aspect to that as well too.
They really did.
That landed, you know.
As a woman, like there was plenty of themes where like I could easily relate to that, and I know a lot of my female friends or people that I know that are women that would relate to it too. So they definitely hit it off out of the ballpark.
Yeah, that was some good stuff. And then I guess Feige wanted them back, and so they killed the shows on Netflix. I don't think me and you really talked a lot about Daredevil, the Born Again.
I keep forgetting that it exists.
Well, that's why we didn't talk about it. So, because I think it was an uneven, because they were making a different show, and then
I know they did
overhauled it in the midway, and
because I think it was coming out campy. And it felt that way. It felt a little disjointed when you watched it.
It felt disjointed watching it, and because it was some high moments early, and I was like, okay, I see they kind of added a little more Daredevil, because the show was going to be more of like a court procedural show, like She-Hulk almost.
I don't want to watch Law and Order.
And it's like the aspect is cool. Like if you put superheroes in that aspect, that's a nice little breather. It's like, okay, you got a court.
Yeah, in between the action, but not the. That's not the cornerstone. That should be the cornerstone of the show. I don't want to be in court all day.
No, exactly. And so they added a little more Daredevil, and then towards the end, you saw them kind of get it more action back into it. So just hopefully season 2 brings it home, because they're bringing the Defenders back. Jessica Jones, I think Luke Cage is going to pop up in season 2. So they're bringing all the actors back, as far as I know.
Yeah, I mean, I really like Jessica Ritter. I mean, I don't really care for the guy who played
Iron Fist.
Iron Fist and the other guy, the big guy.
Luke Cage was
Luke
perfect.
Cage. I don't. He looked too soft for me. Like, I don't believe that he grew up in like Harlem, like back when Harlem was like, you know, when Harlem was Harlem. He looks way too. He looks like he grew up in the suburbs, and you can tell by like his demeanor and
how he talks too. Yeah.
Like there's a certain je ne sais quoi that people from that area have, and he does not embody it. I'm sorry. Like, I grew up right outside the city, so I know how to talk and act.
You could spot a fraud when you see him from Harlem. Born Again was okay, but not close to Netflix level. Yeah, I mean, that'll probably be another watch party with Jules. We'll watch Born Again.
Gotta watch it one of these days.
Add it to the list.
I'll put right before. You know when I'm gonna watch it? Right before season 2 comes out.
Maybe so. I may start doing these watch-alongs on a Saturday. Let me just throw one in there. We'll see. We'll see.
He's from South Carolina. I believe it. I was about to say he looks like he's from down south.
Yeah. There we go. That makes sense. Oh, he says in the show. I don't know, but so interesting stuff. Let's keep this moving. Again, we're gonna talk the Snyder rumors in a moment, but we got a couple news items. Let's talk a little Paramount in a moment here. If I get this down, that was an L.
Oh man, Paramount is probably just doing more favors for WBD and Zaslav.
Well, explain that.
Because they made Netflix up their bid. Now it's an all-cash offer.
True. And with that said, Netflix, because originally they was offering cash and some stocks, Netflix stocks kind of took a hit because, uncertainty, Wall Street is very volatile, so their shares kind of went, and we'll talk about that more in a moment. But Netflix upped their bid or put in all cash. So now Paramount, basically, either they up their bid or like, let's just kind of stop, stop this hostile.
Yeah, because I haven't seen anything about them saying they're going to give more money.
No, and that's the weird thing. And so since we're on that, I actually have an article where Netflix and Paramount, I don't know if people saw this in the last 48 hours, but they're like beefing on record now. Like they have their lawyers throwing shots at each other right now. And it's kind of funny seeing these rich CEOs and execs getting all upset. So let me pull that up real quick. This article here, it's some quotables in here that I'm like, they're kind of dropping bars against each other, which is kind of funny. So this is the Warner merger battle. You got co-CEO of Netflix, Greg Peters. He rips Paramount's bids, crazy debt. And then Ellison Financier basically calls Netflix a smoke and mirrors deal. So they're throwing zingers here. So let me get to what they're actually saying and get Jules' thoughts on this. Now, you already brought up as far as they amended their bid of all cash, $82.7 billion. That was smart for Netflix to do that.
Does not include the studio, the TV networks.
Right. And so they're counting on, because see, Warner Bros. Discovery has not split yet. So it's all contingent on that company cleanly splitting. And the shareholders, I think, have to all agree on the split as well, too. So, yeah, this isn't over yet. It feels like it should be because Paramount's kind of pump faking. But it is a reason why Paramount's kind of, like I said, with billionaires, Jules, like they become billionaires because they don't always spend their money. Like Paramount is kind of holding out for something. And I think we know why now. But the Netflix side, they're saying Paramount's hostile bid for WBD doesn't pass the sniff test because of the crazy amount of debt it would entail. Now, what that means is Paramount already has $20 billion in debt. Warner Brothers as a whole, Warner Bros. Discovery, I think it's like still at like 35 billion debt. So Netflix is basically saying like, why, Netflix is like, we don't have debt. Okay. Paramount, why would you add more debt? And that's like an anchor they feel that will pull down the total conglomerate. Do you see any validity with that? Just with that argument, Jules?
I mean, sure, but all these major studios have debt, and I don't think that's as big of a deal as they try to make it seem. And Paramount is also owned by one of the top 5 richest men in the world. Like that's nobody cares.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal.
Yeah. So that may not hold collectively. On the Paramount side, they're saying Netflix, their proposal is smoke and mirrors. And I think they get into more why they're saying that. But on the Netflix side, again, they're saying Larry Ellison, he would need to really finance this entire Paramount deal for it to even happen. And it came out that he's putting in like $40 billion now, I think.
He's putting up more of it is coming out of his own pocket.
Mm-hmm. And I think if they up the bid, it's going to be more of his side because they can't take Paramount can't take any more money from the sovereign nations. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because that will red flag the entire deal.
It would trigger more audits, and they don't want to.
Right. So interesting in itself, as it says, speculation now centers whether Paramount will raise its offer, which is at $30 a share. And what they're waiting on, though, is the split. And I think there's a line here I want to point out. But again, Netflix talking about they just don't think Paramount really wants a bidding war. But Paramount has the money if they need to. I really don't. I don't believe they will back out. For the Netflix side, for Paramount questioning Netflix, they're saying that Netflix has to, again, wait for the split of the company. And once nothing is secure until that's finalized, right? I don't know what will stop the split unless the shareholders are not confident in, you splitting out the cable company, and like, would that make it worthless? It's kind of what Paramount is saying. Like, why are you splitting the company? The shareholders are going to lose money if you split it off the cable networks, right? Mm-hmm. I don't know, right? I mean, we got to see, we got to see this all kind of come to head, but I just think with them kind of questioning each other's sides, it's kind of weird seeing that publicly. But right now, what I would say, Jules, I think Netflix is still the favorite until Paramount ups the bid. I just think that's what it is.
Paramount needs to up their bid. They've been needing to up their bid for the past month. I don't know why they haven't. You got to put, either put up or shut up. But I think they are kind of banking on the FCC
to block
the deal at this point, because that's the only logical reason that I can see as to why they're not increasing their bid. Like, if you want it bad enough, pay for it. But I don't think they also want to get into a bidding war with Netflix, because how high will Netflix go? Netflix can go a lot higher than Paramount can.
Yeah, no.
So why continue the bidding war back and forth when there's a chance it might not even get approved anyway?
And it may be what Paramount's doing too is that, I think they're just waiting to see what the regulatory process is going to be going into the spring. And if there's any snag, I think that's when they were up their bid. Now, the problem with that, I mean, the long game, yes, you play the long game, when you're a billionaire, you don't have to rush and do anything. But for us, I just kind of want this over with.
Because we want content. Like, all right, let's move on. I want to see my favorite IPs in theaters. Like, this is just going to drag it out for like another year of uncertainty now.
Yeah. If there's any snag this spring, that's when I think Paramount can still legally say, hey, we'll up our bid then. So,
like, if they know, like, the regulators are saying absolutely not, it cannot be Netflix, then obviously that's very easy for Paramount to swoop in and be like, hey, our offer is still on the table. Like, you can still take it. You don't have to leave empty-handed. And that's when they come in and they win. And that's probably the play here. At this point, you're bidding against yourself. If the regulators don't approve it.
I mean, obviously, I made it very clear this whole time. I want Paramount to win this. It's just not every week when me and Jules talks about this, or sometimes I drop the episodes when we talk about Paramount and Netflix, and we think it's like a glimmer of hope for Paramount, and then it's like another like diss towards them, or just another kick against them, like, you have no chance.
Right.
So
in the court of public opinion, this is already a done deal.
Right. So, but it still has to close. It still is not settled. I know a lot of people were favoring Netflix and they were doing victory laps. And it's like, you really can't celebrate everything yet. though it's looking favorable for Netflix, but still, that argument we talked about last time, Netflix is like, oh, we're like YouTube and TikTok, and so you should treat us like that.
Right.
No one's really buying that. Maybe I was a little trying to buy it, but you laughed at me.
It made no sense. You can't spin it. Just can't spin it.
But it's like, they just treat them like YouTube guys. But no, Netflix is a premium platform.
The key is original productions, original TV shows and films, which Netflix does that. TikTok and YouTube don't. So that's what's gonna bite them if that's what they're moving forward with.
Definitely. So as the Paramount turns, probably in the next couple of weeks, we'll talk about another update with that and see what happens with Paramount. I think we're ready for another teaser. We want to throw up here, and really looking forward to Julie's thoughts on this one. This is
I think I know what this is.
This is an interesting one. Let's see here if I can get this one out the way. Okay, live TV. So, with Supergirl coming out,
yawn.
This is a movie that I'm, as far as the director of the film, Craig Gillespie, I think he's actually going to make a decent film. The problem, me and Jules, we had a video out about this. My issue with Supergirl, as far as how they're marketing it, is James Gunn written all over it, and I just don't think that's a positive for Craig Gillespie's directing style. That's my problem, with that. I think with you, Jules, is it just overall just like you're just not feeling nothing from a DCU?
No, it's all just campy stuff for kids. Like, it's just like I've said this multiple times. This is taking us backwards from a genre perspective. Like that's funny. We waited so long to make respectable films with our superheroes in them, and now all of a sudden we're getting all these fart jokes and stuff again. So,
because the super, and again, I'm talking about the marketing. Because I think once I see this Supergirl this summer, I think I'm gonna like it better actually than Superman.
From a directorial perspective,
yeah, I just think it's gonna be it's a put together film. The star of the film, I think Amelia Earhart's gonna be great. I am looking forward to Jason Momoa. And so with this Lobo reveal, this was a thing. It was blink and you miss it in the trailer.
Yeah, in the first trailer.
And, and it's just like, okay, the normies don't even know what's even in this film. So now they put together, James Gunn said, hey, we're going to let the streets know, Jason Momoa Lobo is here. So let's roll it. Don't ding me. So they said thoughts playing Lobo. So this is all Jason Momoa, right? Do you think Jason Momoa at least can help with the marketing?
Yeah, people love Jason.
Like Jason. Yeah,
they do.
Yeah, so Minecraft.
I actually saw one comment. They were like, "Oh, was that the Minecraft guy?" Like, yeah, the Minecraft guy. Like,
that's what he's known. But that's right. Obviously, that's like Gen Z. So it's like obviously Momoa, because he did great with Aquaman. That was like kind of like a generation ago now. And then now you got Minecraft. He's huge in. He's going to be in Street Fighter. So Momoa is going to help, I think, sell this film. I just don't know. Again, will the normies get it right? So let's see. And that's a good shot to me. Okay.
Yeah,
that's a good shot to me.
This already looks, from a directorial, like a cinematography perspective, a lot better than Superman did.
So I like this first. This is our first shot really seeing, Lobo here. I mean, that's Lobo. So this is what I want to kind of get into here. Because there's one thing to be like, okay, will his style infect this film? I think that's a very fair worry, right?
We've already seen it.
It's at least affected the marketing, and the P on the. Does that have to be in the film? Maybe they can cut that part, So that danger is there, and I'm with everyone that wants to have that conversation. Seeing Momoa as Lobo, like this is Lobo. I don't know what else people wanted here. Do they want CGI paint or what? Okay, what's for you? Jules, what's off about just for you personally?
Yeah, let me see if I can get my list ready here. So first of all, he doesn't look, outside of Momoa, obviously, like he is Lobo, like he's just playing himself, right? That's not a knock on him. Like obviously it's easy casting, like why not? The issues here is this looks like low production quality. This doesn't look that much different from CW. The face paint is obvious. Like those markings on his face are supposed to be his skin. He's an alien. He just looks like some rocker dude with some makeup on his face and some Metallica like makeup or whatever, looking like Gene Simmons kind of thing, right? Like I'm waiting for him to stick out his tongue. Like, you know, the costuming, the motorcycle looks like a regular motorcycle. I know sometimes in the comics he does have like a regular Earth looking motorcycle, but would it be that crazy to want something a little bit more alien looking? Like I want to feel like this man came from outer space, and I don't get that here at all.
Okay. Fair. Like I said, I'm just like Momoa has the look, and we definitely got to see it, in action and everything. I think I have a better shot. People are saying the low res shot that would hurt a lot of things. A low res shot.
Well, there is an AI enhanced photo going around now on Twitter, so just in case that pop up.
Yeah, I have a shot where here we go.
Yeah, I think that's the one that's like AI enhanced. But look, you can see, like the markings on his face are obviously makeup. Like they're going to be coming off throughout the movie while he's getting hit. Like that's stupid.
So that's interesting because, like, I'm trying to avoid saying, "Oh, well, in the comics," but really, in the comics, like, he is like his skin is like it's not like painted like it's like Lobo is a pale skin, like a whatever you call that type of white. Like that's his skin.
Yeah,
and like you said, this is coming across his face paint.
Yeah, it's coming across as like this is like giving me like low res Mad Max vibes. Like the wig is obviously a wig. Like it looks like I know he's a rocker and he's supposed to look grungy and dirty, but it's like, and then Momoa also looks like he hasn't worked out in a few months. Like why is his face chubby? Like his arms are not really defined that much. It's like, what happened here? Like Lobo is supposed to be larger than life, and I'm not feeling that. Outside of his personality, he's supposed to be like larger than life personality wise and physically, and it's not happening. And I also don't know how mainstream Lobo is to the general audience. I've never ever heard any random person mentioning Lobo in anything. It's only like the comic book fans that talk about Lobo and they love Lobo.
Right. This is like Black Adam all over again.
Yeah.
As far as just a level, if you want to, you could stretch and make him a B-lister. He's probably more C-lister to general audience. Because like I said, talking with Jules all the time, I'm learning, like, I could try to bring on my comic book knowledge to this, but that's not movie audience conversations.
No. Sorry, but like the comic book nerds is a small minority here. Like,
yeah,
sure,
that's a fringe.
They hold the Bible, and you should, try to stay close to it as much as possible. But at the same time, and we also know there's no such thing as a movie star anymore. People don't go to the theater for a particular actress or actor. They go for the character. So whether
or the IP,
whether or not Jason Momoa is in this, they're not going to be like, oh, I'm going to go watch Jason Momoa and Supergirl because he's in that. I'm going to watch because he's in that. Like, you might get a few people, but that's not going to be the majority.
And that's fair because you look at, again, Momoa doing great in theaters because, like you said, people say that's the Minecraft guy now, right, for this generation. So, but that's that IP. Minecraft sold that film.
Right.
The IP.
Minecraft sold the film. Jack Black didn't sell the film, who was arguably the largest name in that whole cast. Jason Momoa certainly didn't, and he looked chubby there too. Like,
But so that's a fair, because when this film was first, like, Supergirl's announced and that Momoa's gonna be Lobo, and again, the comic book geek in me is like, oh yeah, that's great. Like, I can't wait to see this because in the comics this and this happens, right? So
it'd be an easy home run.
You would think, but then you're like, okay, let's look at the general audience. And let's see what just happened with Superman, right? Now we can have this fair assessment. Superman, did was 614 million. And that didn't blow any doors off there, but that's kind of showing the gauge of general audience and DC. And that's Superman, a well-known international brand. And so Supergirl, lesser known, Lobo, lesser than that known, What are we really expecting? And that's why the report I put out last month is that they're expecting Black Adam level.
Yeah, like
with
in the threes.
with Supergirl. Yeah. So
that's what I see also. Like if I had to pick and choose a range, it'll probably be in somewhere in the 300s. If it breaks 400, good for them. But I just don't see it, especially with a stacked summer of movies that are going to be coming out. Good luck to them.
Yeah, I mean, it's they're definitely they would actually be happy if it's Black Adam level. That's around 400 million. Black Adam got less than that. I'm expecting between 400 and 500. I'm a little more generous. I'm expecting 400 to 500.
We are. So we got to take off 100 out of Syl's prediction, and we'll probably be close to that.
Well, that's why Jules here to balance my optimism of everything. It works perfectly.
The red eyes. So the whole thing is not red, just the pupils are red.
Yeah, I get the criticism with. I mean, okay, what do you think could make this better? Just so it doesn't look like so painted on? That's really the issue?
Yeah, it should just look like his skin. Like he should look almost like how a vampire looks really pale, but you can tell it's their skin that's pale. He's not giving that here. He looks like they went to Party City. They put on they got some witch makeup and then they painted his face.
Slapped it on there.
Yeah, and found a leather jacket that looks a little worn, beat up. They put that on him. They got a bad wig, again, from Party City. Didn't brush it out, just put it on.
Didn't brush it out. So they should have CGI'd his skin.
It's probably not even needed CGI. It could have been just a better makeup job.
It's a better job. Okay.
Maybe use some type of prosthetics to give him more of an alien vibe. Like, be a little creative with it. Like, and that's been the problem, I think, with Gunn's films so far, right? Is that they all kind of just, they lack a visual quality to it that it kind of just takes people out of it a bit. Especially when we're used to like all these big masterpieces where like Dune, for example, is a spectacle. You're gonna watch them. You know everyone there is that top of the line production quality. Everything there looks amazing. So if it's supposed to feel alien, it's gonna feel alien. Things feel otherworldly. James Gunn just doesn't have that kind of creativity or the talent to do that. Sorry to say this shit.
So, like I said, I think that is a fair criticism of this. The comment here saying he's basically like Joker paint on his face. Like, that's kind of wild. If you think about it, his skin should be more texture similar to Drax. That, you know what? That's a fair. I'm glad someone just thought of an example, because I was like, how can these characters look if you got to paint their skin? Well, Drax looked perfect for Marvel. Dave Bautista's character. And I think they painted his skin like what, purple or something, whatever he was like that. And I didn't get like these vibes that people are saying that Lobo has. So
yeah, he definitely had some kind of a texture as far as like lines and stuff. Like it looked like it was in his skin, but it almost looked so natural you don't even really notice it. Just becomes part of the character. But yeah, like why is the black paint coming off? Like it doesn't make any sense. Like what are we doing here?
That's actually interesting. I mean, again, my fanboy side of me is like, oh, we got Lobo, but again, what I keep being reminded is like the general audience, they don't see these films like through my lens. Like they don't care about all the years of comic books that I've read. Is this going to land for new people or not? And that remains to be seen. That just remains to be seen. Overall,
for many people, for many people, this is going to be their first introduction ever to Lobo.
Yeah. I'm saying they're introducing Lobo they're trying to introduce to the masses, and just because of Jason Momoa, it may not matter, right? If it don't land, they're not like, basically, this isn't Supergirl, starring Jason Momoa, and come see this for Jason Momoa. It's like, no, they're just going to happen to see this film and realize, oh, Jason Momoa's in this, if they see it. So that's kind of where we're at.
Right. So it'll be interesting to see.
We got some positive people about Lobo, so I'm leaning more towards the positive. Again, it's my geek radar. I know that's what's taking control of my thoughts, because I'm just like, Lobo live action, let's go.
Well, some people will take anything just to have something, but some of us Some of us actually like things to be high quality, whether it's costume design, story wise, whatever.
You talking about me?
I'm talking in general.
Take anything?
If you feel a little bit attacked, then maybe you should, reassess your views. I don't know.
It felt very directed towards me. It's okay. It's okay. I'm used to Jules by now.
Look, these movies are literally have budgets, hundreds of millions of dollars go into these movies. So yeah, they should look better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's fair. I think it's fair criticism if people aren't liking this face paint slapped on because this is the what do you call it, the AI high res, I guess,
right?
And then seeing it. I mean, like I said, this is the video that James gonna share, and it's like kind of low res. Maybe they could touch this up some.
Yeah, they can.
Just like I said with the Superman suit last year.
You did. I was just gonna bring that up because I was saying that suit is baggy. You're like, oh, they'll fix it in post. It's not baggy. Meanwhile, it comes out. That shit is baggy. Same suit.
Now, what they did though. I saw Gunn really paid attention to the angles in the entire film. So it didn't, you know what I mean? Because behind the scenes stuff, that suit was looking terrible, right?
The general audience was talking about how that suit was baggy after they saw that movie. So,
but they did a good job trying to hide that. That was the point.
They tried, but not good enough.
Not good enough for Jules. And
yeah, that's another good comment. Jason couldn't shave. Like, yeah, I mean, Lobo has facial hair, but he has different styles of facial hair throughout, the comics and all the different media. But yeah, like he just looks like a goat. Like he has like a crazy, I don't know. It looks so messy and gross. It was like Lobo's. I probably one of his best looks when he has like the 5 o'clock shadow mixed with like that long mustache that doesn't connect to chin kind of thing. And yeah, like the CW. This doesn't look that much different from CW Lobo. That's the first thing that came to my mind. I'm like, this is it. I expected so much better.
This is what I would say with the Krypton show, right? Another for the watch party. That Lobo, like I said, I'm getting the same vibes, but like you said, the movies, the big screen should look even better.
This is a big budget movie. What do you mean this looks like a TV show?
Yeah, that is true. I would
get that or cable, like low end cable.
I didn't think that he looked bad in the TV show. It's just I'm getting similar. It's like this is very similar to a TV show.
You'd never be able to compare a big budget film to a TV show.
Yeah, that's
never.
Fair. That's fair. It says Zack Snyder, Nolan, and Russo set the bar so high that nothing coming out now can stand beside them except Travis Knight.
I don't know who that is. But look, it's not even about them setting the bar so high. It's just it's basic quality. There are other IP. Yeah, this is Timu Lobo. Like,
it's your favorite go-to. Timu.
There are other high quality films being made in different IPs. So why should we have to settle for this? I want this movie to look as good as Dune, but it doesn't.
Yeah, it's again.
Doomsday looks way better than this, and we've only seen teasers. Also, you get a good idea of what something feels like with the teaser. That's the whole point of a teaser.
Right. You're trying to put that foot forward with these teasers.
Trying to build excitement.
This gives me another opportunity to put up Cycle. This made Avengers like $1 billion. This one shot
right here. They don't even need to do anything. I don't need to see any trailer. Just post this little still. See Tuesday. It comes out this day.
Avengers, it was already going to make $1 billion, right? Like adding the Fox X-Men, it's going to be $2 billion.
Yeah, it's going to be a spectacle for everyone, and it's going to be insane. It's going to be exciting.
Yeah, and so it's like this was my problem with DC up to this point is that even if I say Superman's watchable, but I don't want to fight with Jules right now. But the point is, I should be able to feel this type of excitement when I'm watching DC. When you just see Cyclops blasting in the air, that's what I should be feeling, right? With DC, and I'm not there yet. It's not hitting me like that, So that's a criticism I can understand. Overall,
I think people are just bored with getting the same old. I mean, everybody looks dirty and grungy in the Supergirl movie, and obviously that's Lobo's thing. But why does everybody else look like that? Like, where's the individuality with these characters and their personas? Like, everyone's the same. Copy paste.
we just want epic stuff, man. Like
That's it. That's all we want. These are comic
you know?
book superhero movies. Like, we want larger than life stuff happening here.
Yeah, and with Superman, I put the question in the YouTube chat. Are you liking Jason Momoa Lobo? We're gonna see. There's some vocal people both ways here, but it's a fast no. Okay,
I honestly will say I think people will gravitate to say yes for two reasons. Obviously, if they're diehard comic book movies, they're just happy to see Lobo, and Jason Momoa is a lovable guy. Like, you don't want to say anything bad about Jason Momoa. Everyone speaks very highly of him. But if we're just going to be completely honest, like, after people get over the whole first impression, it's similar to what they did with the Superman movie, right? Like, people like hyped it up to the max when it first came out. And now people are like, yeah, that movie was mid. Or like, it got way too hyped. Like, people are now like looking back at it like, yeah, it wasn't that great. Like, I'm not rewatching it. It's going to be the same thing with this.
Yeah. That's kind of where we're at with that. I mean, let's see. In the chat here, we're got mostly no's. We just got a handful of votes right now, but like I said, I'm of that crowd that Jules keeps throwing shots at. That I am just happy we got Lobo. I'm just going to admit it. Like but
that's the problem. If you're just happy and just settling with whatever, they're going to keep giving us slop.
Well, hey, I mean, I'm not going to determine how successful this is going to be. Like if it doesn't perform, I'll be right there, clowning the performance like everything else. But my initial thought was like, oh, okay, Jason Momoa Lobo. It was a good shot on the motorcycle. And I was like, okay, I'm ready to see what's going to happen here. And then when you kind of get these frames, you're like, oh, the face paint and all this. It's like, okay, I kind of see why some people aren't as excited, as I initially was for this. So that's just where I'm at with that. But in the chat, continue to vote on that. We're going to double back and see how well that does overall. So we're kind of in the DC portion of the conversation today. Oh, is there still more in this trailer? Hold on. Okay. All right. We don't need the music because I don't need to.
Yeah, it's just the same old style as always.
Yeah.
Graffiti.
I mean, hey,
ooh, so cool.
But my final take on before we move on from the Supergirl stuff is, again, fan of the director, Craig Gillespie, Millie Alcock. I think it's going to be great in the film. I think Lobo's going to be okay. Maybe just don't have any close-ups of his painted face and, some action. So I'm good. But I'm supposed to feel like this, though. Like, and this is what I'm saying.
Every time I see a superhero, I should feel like this.
Yeah. This is the feeling, because as soon as you see it, you're like, okay, epic. This is like Man of Steel. Moments in the film, epic. That's how I want to feel. So that's kind of my gauge.
Like, I don't want to be bored. Take me to another universe. I just want to be entrenched in the story. And these are just popcorn flicks. Here today, gone tomorrow.
I think Gunn style, and I know people have different takes on Gunn style, but Gunn style is very character driven, like a character story. And that could work in like different genres. I just don't know, like, long term, like DC, I'm not there for that. Just I just want an emotional story, like, okay, like in the Superman film, if I rewatch it now, the best parts of that film to me is the Clark and Lois scenes. And do we need a big budget $200 million film for Clark? You can make that a TV show if that's what you're good at, Gunn. You know what I mean? Like, do a Clark and Lois TV show, stream it.
Right.
Because this ain't big epic film stuff. You see what I'm saying? So
yeah, that's why I think he sticks to those B, C, D list tier characters, because that's more in line with his skill set. He knows who he is, and he's obviously shooting really high with taking over the DC. Yeah.
Yeah, far away look at Lobo. I'm just saying, just don't do too many close-ups. Have him do action. But I mean, I will say though, I did. It straight up just looked like, okay, let's pull the picture back up. This is just straight up Jason Momoa with white
and face paint
face.
And a wig. And a wig.
It really is. Like
they didn't even style his beard at all. They were just like, "Oh, you came on set that day. All right, cool. Did you shower? Who cares? Like, all right, let's put makeup on."
Did you shower? Who cares? Because if I have this shot, because I was saying I wanted to get away from this, but Momoa, he's in Street Fighter as Blanca, right? That's that green guy, and I thought I had a shot of that because my point is that looks great, him in Street Fighter, and he's green, and it's just, man.
Yeah, Street Fighter went crazy with the character designs. Like, you can tell they spent money as opposed to this.
So I don't think I had the shot, so I'm just gonna move on from this. But the point is just it didn't land for everybody, and that's okay. And this summer we'll see how that translates overall with DC. I'm pulling for DC to get better, y'all. I really am. Really, but we'll see with that.
I don't know.
Yeah, not landing. Well, so what do you with Man of Tomorrow? Gunn is gonna make Man of Tomorrow, and
unfortunately,
let's say Netflix closes this thing. The way it's leaning, let's say Netflix gets the DC. If Man of Tomorrow is more of the same, or what do you think Man of Tomorrow has to do in a sense to save James Gunn's job, if you think it's even savable?
I would think it has to obviously do way more than Superman, which I think finished off like a tad above 6. I think it did, because they had that last minute push in those last couple of weeks. I think it really has to do like 750 on the low end, but if he wants to secure his job, at least 8. 750 would still be like, it's the second Superman movie, and you still can't crack 800. Like,
right.
It's Superman. Wonder Woman made almost 800, her first movie, and that was the first ever Wonder Woman movie. Nothing came out before her, and she's a female character. But you're telling me with a Superman movie, the most recognizable symbol on Earth, and you can't break 800?
Yeah, I'm thinking definitely 700 plus. I think would relax people. 800 is a stretch because we talked about this with.
The reason I say 8 is if Supergirl bombs the way that we expect it to, and if it makes 400, that's not good. I don't care how they try to spin it. That's not good for a superhero movie. So
be prepared on that one. But
I don't give a shit. It is what it is. Like, we're talking about superhero movies. We're gonna compare it to other superhero movies. If Black Adam failed and it just missed that 400 mark,
it did fail.
Supergirl making 400 is gonna be on the same level. I don't care how they try to spin it, how much they budgeted. Oh, we got made this much profit. I don't care. It didn't make a lot of money. It only made 400. So in order for him to secure his job, he has to show that he has the vision to continue being at the helm of this IP. And 3 mid movies, one that was a complete failure, if Supergirl fails, is not going to bode well for him. So he's going to have to beyond hit it out of the park with Man of Tomorrow.
And the thing, the concern, if people are pulling for Man of Tomorrow, the issue it's going to have is, okay, you came out with a Superman film, reboot, so you can't blame Henry Cavill Superman.
No, this has nothing to do with what came before. This is all brand new.
Rebooted, right? You rebooted this, and you're using the brand Superman, and 614 did great domestically, right? I mean that is
yeah.
But then some international territories, totally
they didn't like it.
China, Japan, Germany, France. It did decent in the UK.
I don't even know how it did in Latin America. I don't think it did that well.
I don't think Spain didn't do good in certain areas there. So the point is, okay, let's say you get repeat business with Man of Tomorrow. Domestically, I'm sure it'll get the same domestically. Well, let's say it does 400 domestically, goes crazy. How are you going to get this new audience? And if international already kind of
turned off on it, they're like, I'm not watching it.
How are you going to sell China? That's basically my point. How are you going to get China? Because if Gunn figures this out, I'm just like I said, I just go off the results. If it bombed in China, BVS did good in China, though they cut the runtime. Aquaman did great in China. So Batman did the Reeves Batman did okay. So China likes DC stuff when it's good to them. If he can sell China, then I think Gunn will save his job. If it's a repeat business, I think Netflix is gonna be like, okay, we really don't need this style. Isn't gonna
China
know,
is absolutely the key. And at the same
yeah.
time, like based on what the general audience has been saying this past year, now that all the hype had died down from Superman, like I see a lot of comments that are saying, oh, well, you know what? It actually wasn't that good. So like how many repeat watchers can we really guarantee is going to come to see Man of Tomorrow?
I mean, I think James Gunn has a fan base too. Like he
does.
And now of course they didn't, push this film like
he's not a
Guardians
household
3.
name the way they try to make it seem like, though.
Right. Guardians 3, which was the template I thought for the Superman film to come out, do decent, and then leg it out, repeat viewers. Superman, you had that first rush of people, and then it legged it for a good month, and then they actually pulled it, I think, under 45 days, I think.
Yeah.
So that's when Netflix coming in the building, like Jules, we just talked about, they're thinking about doing 17 days for some films.
Yeah. I think they just expanded it when people were complaining.
Well, yeah, they're saying
40. I think they're saying 45.
But if a film comes out, let's say it does a good opening weekend and then it has a huge drop second weekend, they're pulling that in 17 days. I think that's what Netflix is going to do.
Yep.
So they're not going to commit to that. See, they're going to give these films a chance and say, oh, yeah, well, if you do okay, we'll let you get 45 days. But if you have like a 60% plus drop second weekend,
no, if it's costing them, they're not. If it's costing them, they're not going to put it out. Do that. Yeah. We'll throw it on the streamer. Why are we going to waste money with the theater?
So now Supergirl is going to be able to kind of beat this, because I think that would be a candidate for a 17-day film. Because if let's say Supergirl comes out and again it does similar to Black Adam, that they're not going to leave it in there 45 days. Man of Tomorrow. It's going to be a lot of pressure on that film, Man of Tomorrow. It's going to be hugely...
Everything, his whole career basically is on the shoulders of Man of Tomorrow.
Yeah. And I just don't know how they're going to get that extra money. I could see it doing 600 again, just like... I'm just
That's
personally.
not good enough, though.
So how are you going to again sell these other territories, and specifically China? How are you going to sell? Because you can get an easy 100 million.
We'll see how they react to Supergirl, honestly. Because everybody already has it as that's James Gunn's movie, even though it's Craig Gillespie's, he's the director. People still look at it like, well, James Gunn made that movie. It has his he's the
Feige. He's the Feige of DC. Right. So for better or worse, he's going to bear. If this film bombs, it's not going to kill Craig Gillespie's career. Because everyone knows he's answering the gun. So. Like I said, we'll see, and I don't think he's even going to kill Millie Alcott's career. I think she's going to do great.
Absolutely not. Her career is just getting started.
Yeah, but it's like if it's just the film doesn't work for everyone, I think everyone just kind of move on and just kind of okay, let's not do this anymore.
Look, that's why they didn't give him a big extension on that contract. So they knew everyone's 50-50 on him right now, and if China, which is the second biggest market besides the U.S., rejects Supergirl again, that's a pretty clear indicator that they're probably just rejecting Gunn's DCU altogether. So the Supergirl is going to be an interesting conversation this summer, because we are going to have to see like what will be our conclusion if it does. What I'm being told what they expected to do already. Black Adam level. What is going to be that conversation? Like, man, like is this brand floundering? Oh, it's low budget, so I think that's how they're going to kind of spin it. Saying, oh, we only spent $100 million on it, so their internal number is probably 375 for Supergirl. Now, their internal number for Superman was 500, but that it had to do more than that. You know what I mean? So with Supergirl, same thing. If your internal number is 375, you better be close to the 500 million. Yep.
In my opinions, and that's not a guarantee, right? But enough Supergirl bashing. Let's see. In the chat, we got 67% not liking the Lobo look. So that's kind of what I was expecting with that. Peacemaker season 2 sucked. I would say James Gunn, I'm understanding his style is very character driven, and it was actually an interesting character study in Peacemaker. Now, people aren't watching Peacemaker for epic DC action and stuff like that. So for what it is, I actually thought he did good until the finale. I think the finale was terrible with Peacemaker season 2. Just like Creature Commandos, I think Gunn has a finale problem. Like he has a climax problem basically with
the
these
third
stuff.
act.
Yeah, just he can't bring that home. He's kind of like pulling out, like and like just really what I'm feeling with these stories. And he, Superman actually had a decent third act, but anyway, we're gonna talk about that. So Peacemaker, I know Jules didn't see it, so I'm just gonna go to another comment.
I saw Peacemaker 1, but
yeah, I didn't really like the first one. Let's catch up with the comments, and then we're gonna get to we got
Rumors.
one more story, then the Snyder
Okay.
stuff for sure. So we got Jules comfortable at home. There's an ice storm out there, so we got her for a couple hours here. So that's good.
Take advantage.
Take advantage while we got her here. So Peacemaker 2 would not be in the watch party. Okay. The buddy team up of Lex and Superman just doesn't work with it being direct sequel from
That's
Superman.
like the stupidest idea. Just knowing what happened in the first Superman movie, like how do you go from that to like, oh, let's team up for this other bad guy?
That aspect, I'm not sure how that's selling the film, right? Like,
Trope. Another trope.
It's like, okay, let's say you think the first Superman film is decent, right? So that this cancels out Jules here. Those that think it's just decent, the next stage is Superman and Lex teams up. I mean, it could be reasons, right? The Lex character will try to save mankind, no matter how evil you think Lex is. His feelings against Superman is that he's an alien, right? That it, like in BVS, what Ben Affleck was kind of voicing, that's really how Lex is in the comics. He's an alien sent here to destroy us. That's how. But Ben Affleck did it wonderfully. But that's the attitude, right? So if we got that type of Lex in James Gunn Superman, I'm like, oh, he was just like a mustache twirling bad guy in James Gunn Superman. So I'm like, okay, where is this going to take? This next evolution. Oh, they're going to team up. It's like, okay, I get the Lex character again. If Brainiac is coming to destroy the world, okay, Superman, you got to help me save mankind. That's what Lex would do, But do I want that? That's what.
Right? Is it too soon for that? Like, shouldn't there be some type of a little bit of reclamation arc for Lex? Why would they even let him out of jail?
And man, they showed him Lex is a big. Oh, it's not a big cameo, but a short cameo in Peacemaker season 2. What's the guy's name that plays? But Nicholas Hoult. Nicholas Hoult is in Peacemaker, so it's actually a good scene, and it's almost like he was playing a different Lex. Now I guess it's post Superman, so he's kind of hardened, but I kind of rather that Lex than Superman. So it's kind of weird feeling watching on Peacemaker season 2, but I just this needs more pop to it, just in my opinion. Now, will I just take anything I get? No, Jules, I won't. But it has to be a much more in this Man of Tomorrow film, because Brainiac didn't give it the pop that it should have gotten either.
At all.
That worries me.
Literally, no one cared. And honestly, I think if he goes with the same tone in this movie, people are immediately going to be turned off. Because a lot of people were complaining that, the movie in general was pretty campy, which seems to be Gunn's style, whether he wants to admit it or not. It is what it is. And Lex, we all complained about Eisenberg's Lex Luthor and BVS being super campy and weird and unrealistic. But yet Nicholas Holt's character is probably super campy and goofy to the point where it's like it was made in like the 70s or something. Like that Lex probably belongs in the Adam West Batman TV show. It's so camp. Like some of the scenes that I saw of him, I was like, oh my God. Like I thought he was actually going to do a good job, and he's a talented actor, but obviously he can only do what the director wants him to do. And he just leaned so heavily into the whole goofiness that it was just like, I can't take this guy seriously. Like he's a nutcase, right? And that's not what Lex is. And it's kind of unfair. Eisenberg's career completely got destroyed for his Lex interpretation, which we did see an evolution by the end of the movie where he became a lot more serious. You don't see that in Superman, Gunn Superman.
Because I think if we saw Lex, I guess if he's in the Nightmare timeline, I think that would have sold his Lex more.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then I hated Eisenberg's portrayal. I to this day, I'm very vocal about it. But when we saw him much more serious, at the end of the movie when he like
Mhm.
the scene I'm talking about. I was like, oh, he's
Mhm.
much more of a normal person there.
Yeah,
So I
with
would have liked to
Deathstroke.
see that
That was,
evolution. Yeah.
that was a great scene with that because I was like,
Mhm.
okay, Lexi, he's bald, he's
Right.
more calculated, like he's not stammering,
Right.
And
He's a
but
lot more
again,
confident.
now again, I'm fine with his portrayal of the goofy version. And again, this is when I say, oh, in the comics, because he's playing like a version that not a lot of people probably read in the
Mhm.
comics. And
Yeah.
of course, Zach wanted to do a total juxtaposition too. Like, got this scrawny tech genius, against Superman. So that's what Zack Snyder was trying to do. It didn't land for everybody, right? But again, just like Superman was going through an arc, Lex was too. Just like Batman going through an
Mhm.
arc. The cyborg character, Zach has a lot of arcs, for everyone. So the finished version of his Lex, I think, would have been good enough.
Would have been the Lex that we're used to seeing, the much more
Mhm.
serious, calculated, conniving
Right.
Lex. That's a
Right.
10 steps ahead of everybody else.
Yeah, so he, definitely was taking a chance, starting him off kind of goofy, kind of scrawny like.
Yeah, I think he just went
you know,
overboard on the performance in the beginning.
mhm. Mr. J said, "Man, it's tomorrow, Dumb and Dumber." Y'all, this is see, y'all going too far now. We got Mandy Zorel here. This is a Still Nation's own Supergirl. Of course, saying I really hope Supergirl's a good movie because I love that character.
Yeah, I mean, it's sad to see what's being done to these beloved characters. Honestly, it's just.
I think there's at least one other person that, because I think the movie's gonna be decent. So I at least know Still Nation Supergirl is gonna like it probably. So it'll at least be two of us that will like the film over here. So let's see. Let's catch up. I'm behind my comments here. They jumped on me. Okay, here we go. They were talking about the extension. Yeah, the lack thereof. Oh yeah, I want to throw this to you, Jules, because we talked about James Gunn Safran's 6-month extension. Netflix keeps coming out saying, "Hey, we're going to keep, the execs in general."
No, we know what execs they're keeping. They got the longer extensions.
Yeah,
they got real extensions.
The Luca Abdi are already locked in,
They're
right?
Locked in.
At least to 2028, and they may even be beyond already. We don't, so that's one thing. There's a article came out. Netflix publicly named HBO Max HBO execs, Casey Bloys, and the people that's behind Penguin and House of the Dragon. So Netflix saying no, they're staying put as well. I'm finding this kind of weird though, because it's like, again, when they come out and say, okay, we're keeping the Warner Brothers staff, that's the Luca Abdi execs. They're naming HBO execs, and there's still no word in DC. I mean, isn't that? I'm just saying, for fans of James Gunn out there, shouldn't that be something to be nervous about? Like
they are nervous because they're being. In the beginning, when all this came out, they were being super obnoxious and aggressive with their comments online, and then they've kind of like calmed down a bit since then. After they stopped feeling the need to have to defend him because they're looking stupid. Because you've got to read between the lines. They basically told you who they want back. And it looks like they're kind of just waiting to see how Man of Tomorrow does before they make a decision on DCU. They might roll it back into WB instead of having it be its own thing. I mean, they only gave him an extension up until Man of Tomorrow comes out. That tells you everything you need to know right there. If you have half a brain, if you've worked in corporate, you know how these things work.
Well, this is business. I mean, that's telling. Contracts is telling. Like, I do contract work, and like, if I'm doing an assignment, and I was doing it for like 18 months, and they say, we'll usually when I re-up, it's it could be 6, 12, 18. And if they come to me and say, I will give you a 3-month extension, I'd be like, dang, like I ain't got no confidence in me. Like, it's like, this is like the lowest possible extension.
Exactly.
And so, when they're saying, oh, the Luca Abdi, y'all good, and like they're naming people, and HBO, y'all good, people are waiting for them to name DC so they can kind of have a sigh of relief. And Gunn's not even confident. He's like, they may keep me, they may not. Like I think he's like ready to like make Man of Tomorrow and just be like, hey, okay, I'm done.
I'm sure he has a seat waiting for him back at Disney if he wants it.
Feige will immediately pick him back up. And that works. See, the word of mouth thing that I was trying to say with Superman is that, you got that rush of Gunn fans at first, and then Guardians 3 legged it out because it was an established franchise and it was Marvel. And you didn't get that same effect with Superman.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what Gunn is kind of realizing, like, hey,
I think people really tried to downplay the power that the Marvel moniker has. James Gunn didn't sell any of those movies. What sold those movies was Marvel. You can't just assume it was him and then pluck him over to DC and think he's going to have the same success. We saw that didn't work at all with all of his movies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, like I said, a lot of pressure on Man of Tomorrow, and the business side of this, like I said, Netflix, they're going to be realistic. I'm already hearing what they want to do on the streaming side, so it's going to be some restructuring of as far as DC content, DC Studios. When Netflix gets in the building, if everything closes, they're going to restructure it in a way where it's like, okay, we're going to do all the like the DC streaming stuff, and will they just give theatrical DC to DeLuca and Abby, at that point, and just be like, we're not going to step on each other's toes. We're going to do our thing, and we trust what y'all doing. Or they may say, hey, we want this theatrical. Do they want to give it to, DeLuca, Abby, or keep Gunn and Safran? You probably won't need Safran there anymore after Netflix is in the building. You know what I mean? It's just,
why would they pay for a whole separate studio when they really don't have to? You just with these mergers and acquisitions, one thing that always gets slashed is headcount. Whether they're going to say they're going to keep everybody or whatever, they're not going to be paying 2 people for one role when they can just keep one, and they're going to keep their own people. They're going to prioritize Netflix's people, unless Warner Brothers has like a heavy hitter that obviously they want to keep, like a DeLuca and Abdi, like the people that do Game of Thrones.
Right, yeah, for sure. I mean, they. Like I said, it's going to be straight business, and I think the writing's on the wall because of the contract situation already.
Yep.
I really
loud and clear.
And I think Gunn can earn his extension if Man of Tomorrow. And I don't think he's going to blow it away like that. But
no, he needs to blow Netflix out of blow them away completely. Yeah. It's going to be like, all right, immediate extension, blank slate. You can do whatever the hell you want.
Yeah, that's really where we're at. If it's more of the same, it's like, okay, that's a nice run, Gunn. Pack it
tried.
up.
Yeah, exactly. But we're aiming for more.
I'm just saying, just business, not personal. So, who should be DCU Batman? I'm bad at casting. I think the way Gunn is casting stuff is going to be someone completely unknown,
or someone that's
sell it.
That's fan cast.
I mean, if that's the case, you get Jensen Ackles. I think he'll be great.
I think he's too pretty for Gunn. I don't think he'll go with Jensen now.
He's too pretty for Gunn.
Yeah,
that's deep.
I mean, if you look at the people that he usually casts, they're not that good looking.
Yeah, I haven't really noticed. So Fernando here says, after the second Guardian of the Galaxy, we knew James Gunn was the main reason for success. Why do you think there's a lot of outrage when he was unfairly fired? They had to hire him back. I mean, I'm not going to take away from Gunn. He did a trilogy, Guardians of the Galaxy.
But you also can't take away that he had a whole team with him that also had a big part of putting all this together. He didn't just have complete control over everything.
Well,
Feige was there. There were multiple writers.
Yeah. The Marvel magic is what helped kick off the first Guardians film. And then as far as actually concept in the story, that was Nicole Perlman. Every time I mentioned her name on Twitter, I was getting banned from Twitter because I was talking about
because there was a whole propaganda campaign that basically wanted you to act like she never existed when she is really the brains behind the whole operation, and they let her go and they gave all the credit to James Gunn. So
he tried to steal her writing credit. She fought for it, and actually she still is credited as a co-writer. Right. She came up with all the roster and everyone for Guardians and the background stories. Gunn came in and was like, let's add a Walkman. That's what he did.
He gave his notes.
He added his jokes and stuff. Now, Guardians 2 is all him, and also Guardians 3. I mean, he has help, but Guardians 3, I thought is the best film he's made. But again, it's coming off of that Marvel,
right,
and the foundation, right.
The DC work that he did was all that support that he had at Marvel was completely stripped away. Now all you have is Gunn. He's at the helm. He's the Feige. He's the writer and director. He chooses his team to put around him. And yet his films did not succeed. So that tells you
stuff. Yeah.
That's all you need to know about his capabilities and his skill set versus when he had support at Marvel.
Yeah, well, yeah, because he's taken on not just his directing, / writing. He's the Feige on top of that with DC,
right.
And now some people could say, okay, this is just the start of his DC, and that's true. And if Warner Bros. Wasn't selling right now, I would tell you, Gunn would have gotten his 6 to 8 years easily.
Yeah.
But like when Netflix coming in the building, when Netflix coming in, other execs is like, okay, if this ain't hidden, is that a raw return for him? I mean, you got to put up the numbers. That's all it comes down to. Like everything we're talking about.
It all comes down to numbers. Exactly what you were saying. They want to see massive profits. They don't want to see a couple million here, a couple million there, especially when they're about to spend tens of billions of dollars, almost nearly $100 billion just for these IPs. And DC is one of their biggest IPs. They're not going to be okay with just doing $10 million in profit on a movie.
Yeah. Or even
50. Like that's,
100, I think would be too low for a huge brand.
Like a Superman? No way.
You got Brainiac. Like that's one thing I'm just, we talked about the day they cast Brainiac.
Yeah. I think we filmed that day.
Yeah. And I was like, again, I should be feeling like excitement. This every time an announcement. Like I should be like, oh my God.
Like the RDJ announcement as Dr. Doom should have been equivalent to the Brainiac announcement.
Yep. Or at least just, man, I understand RDJ, a lot of built in, but still Marvel was on such a losing streak.
Brainiac, yeah.
And like just the thought of RDJ coming back, and people didn't figure out like, okay, well, how's he coming back? They were just like, just RDJ's back, that's excitement. That's real excitement for this genre. And that's what I'm wanting DC to get back to. And it's just, this is where we're at with that. So before we get to the Zack Snyder thing, one more quick thing. I know we kind of went down memory lane for a moment there, but definitely want Jewel's thoughts on this real quick here. So this Batman, DCU Batman, and I'm gonna start treating this stuff like if they're even gonna make this film.
Exactly. That's the first thing to come out of my mouth. Like if it gets better,
that's the first thing.
Make as many treatments as you want.
But it's come out. See, all this time when Gunn first announced the slate and at La Quinta Inn at one of them side rooms and banquet rooms at La Quinta Inn, you had Brave the Bow, and everyone was like, okay, who's going to write this Batman? And initially, I was like, okay, this could work. Having you already have Matt Reeves Batman. We already got Batfleck on the mind. If you're going to do like something different for DCU Batman, maybe this will work. But now we had time to see how Gunn set up his DCU. And that's why I'm just starting off like this. I'm saying, like, I wonder if they should even do this film, because how much different are you going to be from Reeves? And like, if you're going to do another no-name Batman, like, is that really going to matter? Netflix may come in and be like, nah. Either Reeves is done, and this happens, or just don't do a Batman if you're going to continue to do Reeves. It's just in my opinion.
I just looked up her filmography, and I don't know if she's the right person for this.
So she did The Flash, right?
The Flash was.
Let me be clear. It's like almost 50 people touched the the Flash.
And put it all on her.
She polished it off at the end. Now, I like the Flash film. Okay, so this is where we may disagree out here, but I that's a film I probably watch it at least once a month. I like the Michael Keaton stuff. It's bittersweet because that was a big part of my 2022 stories, was talking about Cavill was supposed to be at the end, setting up Man of Steel 2. So it's bittersweet watching that film, like in a weird way. Like it hurts me to watch it, but it brings back memories watching the Flash film. So A lot of people are dragging her being the writer of DCU Batman based off the Flash. Now, you said you shouldn't put that all on her, the Flash film.
Yeah,
if you
because
didn't like it.
yeah, because that movie has gone through so many different directors and so many different treatments. It's not just on her. Granted, who knows what elements were kept from before, how much power she actually had to keep stuff in it. Like, did she have any power to be like, hey, this microwavable baby scene is kind of iffy. Like, maybe we should take that out. Like, we don't know. So I wouldn't put it all on her.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Now, you personally, Jules, I don't know if we really talked about the Flash much, but you thought it was total garbage, or did you even watch it?
I'm not watching it. I didn't watch it. It looked like garbage in the trailer. Like I can tell if a movie's gonna be shit just by looking at the trailer, which is again the point of trailers. It's not my style. It's a goofy mess. It was all over the place. And when a movie is in pre-production hell for as long as The Flash was, and had so many people in and out, you already know it's gonna be a Frankenstein mess, and it's usually not good.
That's exactly what it was. Frankenstein type film. But again, I found some enjoyable parts of it. I think the worst thing I can say about the Flash, though, like seriously, is they didn't finish the CGI, and like Zaslav didn't want to put any more money. Like you said, it was in development hell all those years, and Ezra Miller was going through some legal stuff, which actually Ezra Miller was cleared of that stuff. Just want to throw that out there. But at that time, that was terrible timing. That's why.
Yeah,
because I had a source that knew Ezra Miller pretty well during that time, and they were basically saying they were coming up with those accusations because they knew his film was going to come out, and they wanted to get paid off so they could avoid the bad press.
Mm-hmm.
And Ezra Miller actually fought the charges, and he won. But it killed his headline film. As far as they couldn't market it,
it killed his career through the film.
Yeah,
he's done as an actor.
I mean, I think there's second chances out there. I think but you headlining a summer film, a DC film, and you couldn't even do marketing for it because people were having questions of you, choking women and whatever they were accusing them of, grooming people, and
they basically canceled
him.
He was like the last person to be successfully canceled.
Yeah, so that sucks. That happened to. But I'm just saying, there's a lot of factors in the Flash not turning up well. But I think the biggest thing was they cut the funding and they didn't finish the CGI. And then, of course, they, took out Cavill and Ben in the end. That was stupid. That was very stupid. So that's our feelings of the Flash. But with her writing DCU Batman, Gunn, since they announced it, Gunn was keeping hidden who was writing this film this whole time, and maybe for good reason.
He just brought back the whole team because you got Andy Muschietti directing again, and then you have
and she's right,
Christina Hodson coming back as a writer.
And they make it the same cinematographer. I don't know, but
most likely he's been doing the stuff with Gunn too, right?
He did. He did the Superman. So they may bring him back for that. So you looked at her filmography. Is it her lack of experience that will probably worry you about this?
What worries me. All right, this is not PC, I would say. People are probably like, oh my God, she said this, but it's true.
It's like everything you say.
Okay. When I see a woman working on something that is like a male-dominated genre, I'm just gonna, usually it doesn't end well. And there's outliers, right? But a lot of times they just kind of miss the mark. And a movie like Batman is supposed to be extremely masculine. Like, that's a main part of his brand. And I feel like her filmography seems to be very like female dominated, which is fine if that's what the movie calls for. Right. However, I don't want to see a neutered Batman. And that would be my concern.
I mean, we kind of see her. Well, we're going to see a lot of her style when we see Supergirl, because she wrote that. Supergirl coming up.
That's a female-centered story, so.
Right. So I just wonder how she would juggle that. And again, the Lobo stuff. Lobo may not be in it that much, but so I do wonder. I'm trying to think. What else does she have on her? She has a lot of future stuff coming out. Like again,
Birds of Prey.
Oh, okay. There we go. There we go.
And then she did Bumblebee, the Bumblebee movie.
Bumblebee was actually, I thought, decent.
I've heard mixed things.
In my opinion. Now the timing is a lot in Hollywood and these franchises that came after Transformers finally bombed. Like it was for years, Transformers would just wake up and put out a film and they make $1 billion. Internationally would give them like 900 million alone, and you're just eating off of that. And then Transformers finally bombed with The Last Night. That was a terrible film. And so they finally lost money. So Transformers did a little soft reboot, and that's when Bumblebee came in.
Right.
And it was actually a solid together film. So, she launched her career off that. So she can do decent stuff. Birds of Prey, I'm not a fan of that film.
A lot
not
of people
a fan of that at all.
I think that's the common. That's what most people feel about that movie.
Yeah.
They just don't like it.
I'm just not a fan. Like, just that was right before COVID, and DC was trying to. They were trying to fake reboot, but still keep the SnyderVerse actors, and it was just some weird stuff.
It was weird.
That didn't land, and with no Joker in that, like, how do you write a Harley Quinn film with no Joker? First off, who even has the mind to want to do that? That's
they did a lot of Harley Quinn stuff without the Joker in the comics and in cartoons, so I'm not surprised that they did that.
Well,
too. I don't think that was the worst part about the movie.
Well, because
Harley Quinn actually
Harley
Quinn actually made that movie watchable for me. I saw it in the theater. Her scenes were the best ones. Like I would have rather watched a Harley Quinn movie rather than all the supporting characters.
That's another thing too. It was too many moving parts in there. The Huntress didn't land for me. I don't know why they went that direction. I forget the young girl, Cassandra Cain, I think. The little girl. I don't know why it's just the way Hodgson used known comic book characters.
Right.
Didn't vibe for me. And when I say the Joker connection, I mean, yes, the animated series and you got the actual Harley Quinn animated series. You see, again, Harley Quinn independent of the Joker. So maybe that could work for some people. Now the comics,
he doesn't need to be tied to the Joker all the time. I would definitely disagree with you on that.
I wouldn't say need. I think that film needed it. And that's probably what I mean. Like
that
maybe
film
if it was
needed
a better
something.
film. Yeah.
Like the problem with that film too, and this might be a Christina Hodson preference. A lot of the comic booky aspects of these characters were taken out. Like no one wore their traditional suit or anything close to it. Like the Huntress is badass. Like I want to see her in live action with that suit on. Why was she just in regular
she was
clothes?
like a street vigilante. Like
I felt like I was watching Daredevil on Disney Plus.
It felt like a TV show, a series level again of the characters.
Right.
But like I said, that film, because like we said, when we agreed that not everything has to be like the comics, but if you're going to change aspects, like I just feel the film should have been better. And since it wasn't, then I'm like, okay, why'd you even try to do that story? I thought it would be a slam dunk Harley and Joker. But that's my take, my divisive take on that. So, let's see. Let's just comment real quick. I want to see what they're saying. It said they can take their time with the Batman movie. It needs to be right due to Matt Reeves' Batman. But this is the problem. Again, if Warner Bros. Wasn't for sale right now, then I'm all for take your time, right? Gunn would have got 6 to 8 years to figure out. And you have Matt Reeves' Batman coming out 2027. You can make your Brave and the Bold 28, 29 even. You don't have that luxury right now.
And they're not greenlighting. They're not greenlighting anything until Man of Tomorrow comes out. So they have 6 months to create an impressive script.
Yeah, I think because you can't really announce nothing off the heels. Because again, I don't think Supergirl is going to do great. So you can't announce something.
Have a year. So I mean, I'm tomorrow. So they have a year.
No, I know what you meant. And it's because you got Supergirl this year. You got Clayface this fall, and that's a low budget DC horror, which actually could work, but that's not going to save your job doing low budget. I just think that's cool for content. And again, I'm the guy. I take everything.
That's just to have. That's just to have multiple things out in the year.
I'm just a little salty for that. No, but you can't greenlight this Brave and the Bold. Like I said before, Man of Tomorrow, you can't because you don't even know if you're going to be there. Like you can announce this film now, say, "Oh, we're going to start filming end of 2027," and you're going to probably be fired before that. and they're just gonna pull it off the slate. Like they're like, no, you're not.
They're not gonna risk it. That would just look
So-
bad on the studio.
So that's what I mean though, as far as this, take your time. That was true 6 months ago. Now, that's not. You don't got that time. You don't have that luxury of time anymore. So, but as far as her, I want to make our takes clear with. I think Gunn knew it was going to be a backlash of her. She's pretty much written every script. If Gunn didn't write it, she's writing the script for DC stuff. So I think Gunn knew it was going to be a backlash. He's very present on social media, more than he should be as a co-CEO of DC Studios. And this leaked out, because Gunn was asked who was writing this a couple months ago. And he said, I'm not going to reveal it. I'm like, good.
It was the most obvious choice the whole time, besides himself.
So I think Gunn knew. Christina Hodgins, she's attached to that Flash film for better or worse, for fair or unfair.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
She is. Again, there's mixed, and see, these are all mixed views. I like the Flash. You don't. You like Birds of Prey. I don't. So we're 50-50. She's already 50-50, just a small sample size, right? Just between us. So imagine everyone else in the general audience. So it's just, this wasn't a slam dunk, pick. And I definitely didn't want Gunn to write this either. I didn't want him to write it.
No, I don't want either one of them. Like, I don't think either one of them would really understand what a masculine figure should look like. And I don't want to hear nothing about no toxic masculinity. Like, this is Batman. He's like the alpha,
Now that we got He-Man on the big screen again, like, no, this toxic man. No, let's cancel that.
And I don't want to see emo twink Batman either. So when that dies with the Reeves verse, I don't want to see that ever again.
No, that's terrible. That's terrible. So it's mixed. It's the best to sum this up. This is a mixed reaction because she has not been a slam dunk, or just different audiences with DC directly up to this point. So that's kind of where we're at with that. And I think Gunn was hiding her for a reason. But I don't know what he expected. Like, it had to come out eventually,
right?
You know what I mean? Who was right?
I mean, he kept like this movie, The Brave and the Bold, was like one of the biggest announcements in his slate that he was really championing since he got hired. So you can't hide now.
Yeah, it's like you got to just show us what you got. Who do you got on it? And
what do you have in your mind for this?
You should get the best people possible for this. And again, I'm all for obviously I'm all for talented women that there's talented writers, directors,
of course,
and everything. But there's a fit involved here, and
superheroes might not be her fit. And that's okay.
May not, you know what I mean? And it's like, whatever she added to the Flash film, I don't know for sure. But that's why I say Supergirl. I'm going to reserve a lot. Right now, I'm saying, nah, I'm iffy about her writing this. If Supergirl comes out and I think she's landing stuff. Now, again, the female aspect, you're saying the star and female role, you still can't judge her doing Batman off of Supergirl. I think it was the point you was making. So it's up in the air with her, and that's unfortunate because I don't want a lot of people kind of going after her now, and it's like, hey, she's trying to get these checks, y'all. I ain't gonna diss her personally about this, but
look, I mean, there's a good chance this movie will never get made. So let her make her money by writing scripts.
Yeah, because she'll still get paid. Yeah, she wrote the script, so that's so she's gonna win regardless.
It'll be in the Warner Brothers vault somewhere, collecting dust.
Just like Batgirl, she wrote Batgirl, and that got shelved.
Oh my, she wrote Batgirl. Oh man.
Yeah.
Okay, that's really bad.
And that's what I'm saying. It's like, man, I wish it was like a slam dunk thing. Because, like I said, even though you like Birds of Prey, it's a divisive feeling over that film.
I mean, I like for Harley Quinn. I like Harley Quinn. Like, I thought those scenes were very entertaining, but the rest of the movie was just like, it's a popcorn flick.
Right. So you need something a little more solid. You're talking about Batman.
Substance. Yeah. Batman is a heavy character.
We got a comment here saying, I'm in the minority where I don't like the idea of incorporating Damian Wayne. Don't want to see him being a father figure as far as Batman being a father figure. I guess, you have a take on that, Jules?
I like Damian Wayne. I eventually want to see him in the theater or in the movie. However, I don't like the idea of just jumping right. Like, that's the first time we ever see Batman as like with Damian. We haven't even gotten real Robins yet, and we're already jumping over to Damian. Like, I want to see one day we might get a Batman franchise where we actually see the progression, like the full progression of his career. Like that would be so
That'd be
ideal.
nice.
But like it doesn't seem like that's a priority ever for any studio that's making any Batman movie. But that would be amazing. Just give me like 8 movies of like his entire career. Just show us everything. Show us the Robin, show us the rogue with all the rogues, and all that comes with it. I want to see all of his love interests. Like he has so much depth to his story. I don't understand.
Yeah.
Like you just be printing money. Hire someone young and just go for it.
Hey, Schumacher could have did it, but they didn't like Batman and Robin. I'm just saying.
It wasn't the time for that. Now it's like this is the era for it. Like we take these movies seriously. We actually have good production behind them usually, especially for something like Batman. Like let's do that. Why hasn't that done?
Like you said, it kind of writes itself. You do the Dick Grayson, then he grows up, let him become Nightwing.
Yeah, I want to see Nightwing. I want to see Red Hood. I want to see
the Jason Todd. Yeah, people want to see that. That's like 3 films right there. That whole arc of Jason Todd, and he gets reckless, then he dies, and so you got a lot right there. Tim Drake, he's people like him. He got a fan base.
He's just there.
Then do Damien. That's what I'm saying. Like we talked about 6 movies right there
before we get to Damien. Right. Like show us. I want to see the progression where he actually he's like a foster father and he's a father figure in that way, but then it's completely different when he finds out he has a biological child. And then that dynamic shift in his brain and how he acts and the responsibility, like it's a whole different dynamic. And it's just there's so much that could be said with it, and we're just not getting it.
And again, with what Gunn is doing, like you say, he's not even allowing this stuff to kind of build up. I mean, with Superman, he's kind of doing it, I guess. We'll see how he expands. But as far as with Batman, I don't like jumping kind of to the end already. With
and I know Snyder decided to go with a much older Batman, but I never liked the idea of Batman being older than Superman. Like I always feel like they should be like colleagues in a way where they should be about the same age. That way they're rivals, but they're relatable, but they still have that little bit of like suspiciousness for each other.
The world's finest animated crossover. That was like one of the perfect depictions of Clark and Bruce, and like you said, they were around the same age, and Bruce was trying to bag Lois, and it's like that was a perfect perfect setup.
Just take that and put it in the big screen, and it'll make $1 billion.
That actually would. But everybody wants their own writing credits. They don't want to, they don't want to adapt stuff like they used to. I was saying this on my last stream that, I think we're gone from the days of straight adaptation, like from panel to screen, like Zack Snyder's Watchmen. Watchmen is straight from the graphic novel.
300, I think, was
300 is
similar too.
And so but like I said, we can't get that anymore. Like even Gunn, leading up to Superman, despite how you feel about the film, he kept saying, "Oh, it's like All-Star Superman and all that." And you watch the film, it ain't nothing like the comic. Like he barely took any aspects, from the comic. With Supergirl, he finally came out. They were selling Supergirl, saying it's gonna be like Woman of Tomorrow.
Yep.
And now Gunn has come out and says, "Actually, we just took elements. It's not really."
There's like one page.
We just took like her outfit. That's about it. So I'm like, man, so you're not even really. Now he hired Tom King as a part of his writing team, the guy that wrote Woman of Tomorrow. So he's going to get his credit. But all these other comic book writers, like in the comments, are saying we need more comic book writers in the room. If you adapt,
they're not being heard, so it doesn't matter.
Like Scott Snyder. If someone does Core of the Owls, you got to pay Scott Snyder. Yep. And I think people are avoiding introducing some of these characters. They're like, they don't want to give people credit. It's crazy.
It's a shame because there's some really good. Batman has some of the best stories in comics. They should be their panel to screen. Like it's print money.
Like Zach wasn't afraid to be like, I'm giving all the credit. What was it? Alan Moore.
Like, he's like, I'm just a fan. Like I'm doing them.
And visually, I mean, it's to this day, people like that's probably the perfect one of the best adaptations ever. Yeah, from a comic to screen. And we just, like I said, those days may be gone. Yeah. We may never get nothing like that again. No, which is crazy. So he says here in the comment, I think Clayface, if does amazing, saves his job because he can take a low budget film and make money. Studios love that. So this is my full thoughts on if can Gunn save his job. I think best case scenario for him is he could remain some kind of creator if these films do well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's going to call the shots. Like I said, I think when Netflix comes in, they're going to be like, okay, this is again assuming Gunn makes money with these next 3 films. Okay, Gunn, you can flesh out your world some, but hey, we want you to make this film. Like he's not going to have the final say.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. If he stays, right? I think with the contract as is, I don't think he's going to be there. You know,
I don't think so either.
Yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at with that. Clayface, low budget. They spent $40 million. They're saying on the film. I mean, I don't expect it to make over 200 million. You know, I just don't. Yeah, personally.
The only way
who knows Clayface
without Batman, right? Like,
that's
so
what I'm saying.
Unless this movie makes like $1 billion, and even if then, like, so you could take that just goes to show again that he can take like a unknown character and make them somewhat successful, but yet with this massive IP with this built-in fan base, you can't make that successful. And I think that's actually going to hurt him more than help him, because his whole purpose of being there is to make these IPs even bigger.
Right, exactly. And so, like I said, yeah, it comes out of Man of Tomorrow. It has to slap. It has to create new fans. It has to do it, and it's unfair pressure. Like, and there's fans of James Gunn, you know, they watch this, and I understand if that's not fair, but this is business.
You know, I think it's from a business standpoint, it's very fair. You've already had a number of movies. You know, you had your chance to impress, and it's not working.
And that's nothing with Clayface. You know, this isn't like Joker. General audience knows Joker from the old, you know, Batman '66 shows. Like they know Joker.
They know
so you can make a low budget Joker. In the first one, low budget, and it blew up.
Right.
Now the second one, you know, it's consenting thoughts, but like I thought the second one was actually okay. But again, I'm not watching
a musical.
So, but the point, you can get away with a Joker film, low budget, and you will have general audience, you know, interested. Like, okay, let's see, you know, even Batman's not in it, but it's Joker.
Yeah.
Clayface doesn't have that same luxury. Clayface is like, what is this? Okay, it's DC. You got a no-name cast. What's selling Clayface? You know, and I don't think it's going to get that much.
I don't even know who's playing Clayface.
I forget his name. Yeah,
I don't even know Clayface's real name.
Yeah, it's it's 2 different versions, I think, of Clayface, but I think they're gonna do like a mashup of like the animated one, and which I mean that could be great. I'm just talking about the marketing and selling side. I don't know how you sell this without Batman. You better have a silhouette of Batman swinging through, you know, or, you know, don't do like Black Adam and we got Superman. We ain't gonna tell you though. If you got Batman in this film, you better just have him in the shadows, have him swing through.
Better show his cape.
$500 million right there. if you just have Batman swing through, I'm just saying. So we'll see. Let's get to the main story. I've held Jules hostage as long as possible. Let's get to the main Zack Snyder rumor that we wanted to discuss. As I started this rumor roulette series, it was to kind of hunt down stories, like for the longest, you know, especially with late great Mikey Sutton and other people that we was working with over the years. We wanted just a true story. We just wanted to get a story, you know, and double, triple check it if possible, source it, and then we come out. You know, we did Scoop Center, we did stuff like that, and you know, it's fun to be right. You know, and you do your victory laps. But with rumor roulette, I hear like a lot of rumors all the time that I just don't. It's too laughable. I share some with Jules and other people, and I just laugh at like, what is this? Like, what is this thing? And so it's like, I was like, it'll be fun to kind of just bring up what these rumors are, and then it gives me a chance to check into it and see, you know what I mean? Like, you know, is there something true to it? So that's the point of this series. And so we got our latest one we're gonna bring up now. And I just gotta do my little intro thing. This is today's rumor. A hot rumor. I think this just dropped yesterday. Everyone's going crazy online. Like, is this true? What is this? Who is the source of this? And so we're going to answer all that. Last week, I went over the Dark Knight Returns rumor. This actually be good to bring this up now because Jules is here. We haven't talked about that. Where Zack Snyder's been teasing the Dark Knight Returns. There was a lot of rumors about it, and then Zack posted, because Zack knows what's going on online. Like, he knows when people are buzzing about something, and he decides to tease it after that. Zack has said before he would do a Dark Knight Returns film. Is that a straight adaptation? Is that like code for something? I don't know. What's your thoughts just seeing Zack active on social media lately, Jules, and the whole Dark Knight Returns thing?
Yeah, I mean, it hasn't been a secret that he wants to do a Batman movie, and he's a big fan of the Dark Knight Returns comic, which who isn't? If you've read it, it's amazing. It's a classic. I mean, he would definitely. We saw what he did with Batfleck. I mean, he would be absolutely. He would kill, right? Like that movie would be amazing. As far as these rumors go, I mean, they're just rumors. His post on social media, he's been pretty active lately with his SnyderVerse stuff, which is interesting. And the last time he was that active was when we almost got it restored, right before James Gunn got the job somehow at the 11th hour. So, I mean, who knows what he's trying to hint at, but he's not just doing it for the clicks.
Right. I think what most Snyder fans, I think we understand in the past when Zack teased stuff in 2019, dropping pictures of Darkseid, and everything. It's the release of Snyder Cut days. And then the next year he announces, we didn't know he was negotiating while he was doing that.
Right.
And the next year he announces Snyder Cut's coming out. Right. Then in 2021, Zack showed a picture of the crisis turkey, as they say, the Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah.
In 2021. And then it was after that when I started getting the stories of Cavill's coming back, Ben's coming back. That was all confirmed. They were in the Flash film. DeLuca and Abdi wanted to do one last ride of the SnyderVerse, and Zaz of 180, everything, hired Safran and Gunn. So Zack was teasing, and something was actually happening, right? Till it wasn't at that time. Now with Zack being active, I can only, think something's happening behind the scenes. Like it's just Zack doesn't just, like you say, he doesn't just troll. He knows is getting his fan base excited,
right?
Teasing this
and
stuff,
he wouldn't mislead his fan base because he's not cruel like that. And again, he recently just got on Instagram. He's not even on Twitter anymore. So again, he has no reason to clickbait people or rage people whatsoever.
Right. So at the very least, and that's why when I went over that story last week, I'm like, the way I look at these rumors is that at times, again, I get stuff that's just way left field. Some stuff on the nose, the stuff that's kind of mixed with like some fluff. Like, for example, I got like a total plot detail of Avengers Doomsday, right? It spells out the entire plot of the film. So when I got it, I laughed. I'm like, yeah, right. Like this can't be right, So I ran it by a couple of people, right? And so at first it was like, oh, this is BS. This is fluff. This is, And then they messaged me back. They was like, wait, it was like in the middle here, that's literally in the movie. And then it goes back to fluff. And so sometimes these leaks seem just crazy. And then there's something in the middle there, like they're leaking something for real. And I just wonder if this is how people are leaking stuff now. They're mixing. So,
right.
That's how I look at some of these sources where I'm like, but then it's like, oh, is there something hidden in there that maybe it actually is true, So we'll see. We'll see with that. Overall, the Cosmic Book News. This site, the best way to say that. I don't know anything they've gotten right. I'm gonna be honest. And
yeah,
I don't really follow them that close, but I don't know. The leak that we talked about last week, that was from a different source. And it's kind of a weird connection it's going to be to this story. It wasn't Cosmic Book News last week. But the leak last week actually had stuff that I was like, oh, it's kind of lining up. But then there was a lot of conjecture. This here with Cosmic Book News, let's just be clear. They hate James Gunn for political reasons. Okay. That's the first thing. So everything's going to be slanted towards, we hate James Gunn. Now that may satisfy some of y'all that they have that approach. Also, too, comic book news, they actually were cheering against the SnyderVerse. So it's kind of weird they're trying to grift off of it now, getting clicks off of
We've seen
SnyderVerse
that
articles.
a lot of accounts were doing that.
Right. So they were, kind of riding the train, but now they hate James Gunn so much that they're like, okay, what's next? Okay, let's get Snyder. Yeah, we don't like him, but let's get Snyder back. So this kind of lens we're going into the story. All right. So because it's going to affect what's said in this article. And then I'll tell you what I'm hearing as far as what they're saying. So it says Zack Snyder has new Justice League plans as James Gunn is kept quiet. So right off the bat, we hate James Gunn. Following recent reports, I asked my WB insiders for an update on the state of the DC universe. Here's the latest. Zack Snyder's Justice League plans might not be what you think anymore, and James Gunn is being kept from over-promising on his DC plans. Okay, very generic. Let's see. They're talking about Netflix versus Paramount. You could guess which side they're on. Cosmic News, because people look at Netflix so like a liberal thing, and Paramount, is looked at as like MAGA or something. It says they could decide Snyder's DC future. His DC insiders tell him that while Snyder has shared some of the previous Justice League plans publicly, his current ideas have shifted because superhero movies has shifted.
Whatever that means.
Let's pause there because he's very.
That says nothing.
This is exactly why I wanted Jules here for this. So we know Zach put out those storyboards, right, Jules?
Right.
And
this is like not news at all.
It was like a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Now the exciting thing wasn't, we see some storyboards. Like, no, we saw that, like in
he gave us the whole story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Zach said in 2021, hey, I got new storyboards. I got new ideas.
Right.
So this is a nothing sentence right here.
Yep.
what they're saying here.
That was exactly what came to my mind too. So we're on the
Snyder fans know that Zach already changed his story. So I'm just saying, I'm just trying to keep them honest through this. So let's go further. I said, and like everything else at Warner Bros. Discovery right now, what happens next depends on who ends up owning the place. Okay, that's okay. Let's skip down here. From what I've been told, Zack Snyder's SnyderVerse is fully back in play with the WBD sale to Paramount. Saudis are still involved. While the hope is that if Netflix ends up buying WBD, Snyder can do The Dark Knight Returns with Ben Affleck. It's that whole sniff test thing that we talked about earlier. I think we all know when it leaked out that the Saudis was a part of the Paramount deal and the Turkey al-Sheikh connection to Zack Snyder, I think we all made that conclusion.
Yeah.
If Paramount wins, right? So
this is not news.
We're not getting anything new yet, right? Mm-hmm. That's not what we're now. He's trying to say with Netflix, like if it's an either or thing, I mean, I would rather the Paramount side.
Right. If this is true.
Right. If Netflix is only going to do Dark Knight Returns and that's actually just an adaptation, I mean, I would take it. Okay, this is Zack Snyder, Ben Affleck. But I would rather the Paramount side, that is, right? So,
yeah, we want the whole pie, not a piece.
Exactly. So we're on the same page so far. Christopher Nolan, he said he won't be directing at Netflix. I'm told Nolan could still be involved and would consider working with Zack as an executive producer since Zack values his opinions. I'm sorry, I'm not buying that one. So yeah, let's just keep going here. Let me get a temperature check here. Where are we? I hate James Gunn in the chat. Okay. All right. Oh, the street saying comic book news is the worst. Now, I will say this. Everyone has their sources. I never doubt people. Now, it doesn't mean they're good sources, but I'm just saying everyone has people feeding them information. Sometimes it's agenda. Maybe they, like when I got the Henry Cavill Black Adam story, it was from some people who they wanted the fan base to know Cavill was coming back. Now, you can kind of guess what angle that was coming from at that time, but $7 production. But So that agenda, they you know what I mean? And plus they knew I was a fan. So I was like, I'm excited. I want to see, So there's agendas with this. I just want people to be clear with this here. So it says here, Zach's OG plan shifted a long time ago. Right. We knew about this years ago, right? Okay. So we haven't learned nothing yet. All right. Let's see. It says, why Snyder's Justice League thinking has changed. Regarding Snyder's potential changes to his original Justice League sequel plans, the insider's point isn't that Snyder is randomly rewriting the past. It's that the entire superhero market is different than when Justice League sequel roadmaps were first being kicked around. Okay, he said a lot of words there for
to say nothing.
We can argue that back then studios sold fans on long runway plans. Now the pitch seems more flexible and immediate. Fewer cheeseboard teases, more payoff. What'd you say? Oh, chessboard. I said cheeseboard.
Somebody's hungry.
Cheeseball. Tease now. Bigger theatrical reason to go, or it gets swallowed by streaming habits and audience fatigue. Okay, what we got though? I haven't really read through this yet, so I'm trying to get to what we got here. That's also why I'm told Snyder's private ideas today aren't a carbon copy of the old. Okay, so we know this. Okay, I don't have to.
He's saying he's repeating himself multiple times.
He's literally repeating it. Where's the story? Okay. I should have had that drop. I got to drop. I'll do it later. The WB sale cloud is why everything feels frozen. Okay. Here's the part fans keep feeling without always seeing. There's real hesitation inside company because nobody knows who's ultimately going to get WBD. I wouldn't say it like that, but okay. Netflix and WBD recently announced their amended deal to an all-cash transaction. The bidding fight has been getting uglier in public, with Netflix side taking shots at Paramount Skydance competing offer. Okay, so that's stuff we talked about earlier. Let's get down here. If you're inside DC Studios, that translates to one thing. Don't lock yourself into promising a new owner. Don't promises a new owner can cancel on day one. Okay. What's the story? DeLuca and Abby are keeping Gunn from overpromising. Now, I gotta object right here. Because automatically people know the dynamic of the power structure right now of WBD, of Warner Brothers, DC Studios, and then Zaslav. Gunn reports to Zaslav. He actually doesn't report to DeLuca and Abby. And see, stuff like this is what gets people to doubt Comic Book News. You don't even have the power structure right. So if your insider's telling you this, you could check them right there. Hey, that's not even true because they don't have any say. DeLuca and Abby have said publicly they have no say over DC Studios. When they were asked about Superman, they would say that's Gunn and Safran's film. They said that repeatedly. So just gotta put that there because what they say next here. As according to the insider, Mike DeLuca and Pam Abby are trying to keep things steady at WBD. Everyone's on pins and needles because now nobody knows who's eventually going to get WB. Our insider said. This follows a recent report from Puck News, which insinuated DeLuca and Abby are fully in charge of WB films, including Gunn's DCU. It's not true.
False.
That's not true. Gunn may no longer be answering strictly to Zaslav. That's not true. It's just not true.
That's literally his boy. Like, come on.
It's just really. I know I should have read this before I went live. I'm sorry, y'all. Let me take a breather here.
They made like a whole blog post of like 2 quotes that say the same exact thing.
Where's the story? All right, that's my where's my drop?
Where's the dog?
Where's the story, man? For real. Where's the story with this?
That Superman sure does yell a lot.
I swear, man. Like that was, man. Let's see, still thinking about Gunn when he used cheesy. I probably am getting hungry. That's probably what's going on. So, like I said, with these rumors, and it's only because of that template where I had just a bogus report given to me, and it was like actually layers of truth in it in a weird way. So I was like, I'm gonna give these people a chance But when you just put false information like that, I'm sorry. You don't even understand the power structure. That's insane. Okay.
And then this next sentence kind of just, you going to read it or are you going to?
Yeah, I'll go forward with it. Okay. Let me take a sip of water here. Dramatic effect.
Pause.
The evidence of the difference between DeLuca and Abby and Gunn at WBD comes from simply reading Deadline's recent interview with DeLuca and Abby, and then reading Gunn and Safran's PR stunt with Bloomberg. World's difference, but he doesn't say why. But it's a contract thing. Let me help them out here. They're talking about...
Yeah, it sounds like based on this sentence, it's like they're trying to read between the lines from these two articles, and then they're coming up with this story so they can post it on their website for some clicks.
Right. And just to jump back, the Puck News article, again, they didn't really flesh out what was in that article. I covered that article. That was when it appeared Paramount, and this part is actually true, not them, but the Puck News, that Paramount has been reaching out to potential DC directors and talent because Paramount was confident they were going to win this bid with Warner Brothers. That's not a DeLuca and Abby thing, though. That was Paramount directly, contacting people. That doesn't mean Gunn reports to DeLuca. I don't know how they made that connection. Okay. Then as far as this talking about, the difference between DeLuca and Abby, and they got the contract extension, which they should have just said that, and Gunn and Safran got a shorter one. It's okay. So we're like halfway through this article and we haven't learned anything so far. All right. It says, among other things, the message is to avoid committing to specifics that might not materialize once the ownership situation is settled.
That's like the third time they said that in different ways.
So, all right. That's also the suggested explanation for why James Gunn has been more cryptic lately about projects, even his own future. Yeah, because of the new ownership. Yeah, that's
and that's obvious.
Yeah, nobody wants another era of big announcement that later turn into quiet walkbacks. It hurts.
Said it again. That's number 4.
We got the jewels on the counter. We got a counter going on. Okay, here we go. The insider adds. Here we go. That the sale of WBD is taking a toll across multiple studio groups because everyone's waiting on decisions that can't be made cleanly until the sell picture clears up. That's not true. DeLuca and Abby, they're plotting out 2027.
They're doing their own thing. Yeah.
We just talked about earlier. Netflix say, hey, HBO execs, y'all keep doing y'all thing. We want you to make another Penguin. We want y'all to do whatever. So that they're not nervous. They're being publicly saying, hey, y'all gonna make it. That's what are the studios you think they have? They have Warner Brothers Pictures, New Line Cinema, and DeLuca and Abby is over both of those. Warner Brothers Animation, of course, DC Studios. That's the only studio that should be nervous right now. DC Studios.
Yep, that's the only one that was mentioned.
Yeah, not HBO, not so. But he's saying his insider says this. Okay, all right. So,
continuing on.
I'm sorry, Drew. There's no Cyclops moments right now. Okay, I'm sorry.
All the happy moments are gone.
It says the Affleck and Dark Knight Returns talk is still there. Okay, It's been a lot of talk. I'm told that Ben Affleck still loves Batman.
Oh, really?
It would come back under the right circumstances. I mean, that's actually true. That is true. He's
been saying that for years.
Yeah. Ben would do it. Yeah, I was told Ben would do it now or even 10 years from now. Ben is going to do another Batman.
He loves Batman. He's always loved Batman.
Yeah, so that's okay. The insider connects that to Snyder's real passion play, a comic accurate The Dark Knight Returns with Affleck. Okay. I've also been told that Snyder is using the social media post to gauge fan feedback. Reactions have exploded online, which aligns with why you'll see him surface old material while also, again, from what I've been told, quietly recalibrating what the next step will look like in a very different superhero landscape. Zach already has the storyboards. People like that's
what's so different about this superhero landscape, though. I don't quite understand.
It's just different, Joe.
This is different. Okay.
This is where we're at.
It's a different year. I guess that's what it is.
Yeah, that changes a lot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nolan and Netflix, not directing, but maybe advising. I don't know where this angle's coming from. He says, one other detail from the insider. While Christopher Nolan doesn't want to direct for Netflix, he might be open to a limited role if it's tied to Zack Snyder. I don't know why this is like an important angle here, but it says, think executive producer or advisor, more giving Snyder input than making a Nolan Netflix movie.
Nolan has no desire to get back into the superhero genre. Like, what is this?
This is took a left turn on this one. Not sure this Nolan thing. Nolan's happy with Universal. I mean, he did Oppenheimer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, got the
He's
Odyssey
now working
coming
on the
out.
Odyssey.
Yeah, I don't. Now he wants to go to Netflix, just Netflix to work with Zack Snyder, but we don't know who's buying it yet. Like, well, if Paramount gets it, then
right.
Well, no, you know, that was a weird angle. Right there. Let me check something here. They're talking about Ben. The cosmic is the worst. I mean, I'm just going off what they're saying. You know, I'm just going. This is
like getting clicks, and people are believing this crap.
They shared it like crazy. I'm just like, okay, it has people's interest. Yeah, let's see what we got here. Right now, we have nothing. What does this mean for DC right now? Yeah. Since WBD's ownership is up in the air, Jules, for the fifth time, DC will keep operating as if it's in a holding pattern.
Number 5.
That's the biggest context behind new Justice League plans.
I think we just hit bingo.
I mean, man, again, Snyder fans know. That's why we know Cosmic News is not a fan of Snyder. Snyder fans know, again, Zach already had a new story years ago. You know, and Chris Terrio at Full Circle, he said, well, yeah, when it's time to adapt the screenplay, I'll be ready, you know, based off the new plans. So that's already been decided. You know, this is just, yeah. Says Snyder can evolve his pitch for where superhero movies are now.
Whatever that means.
Affleck can be open under the right circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
Gunn can keep being cryptic because he's being kept from overpromising until the corporate dust settles. Okay. That's it. Oh my goodness.
So anti all that for nothing.
That was it. That's the story.
I think people were just going off of the headline and didn't actually read.
Oh my goodness. This is the biggest nothing burger.
So the story is everybody is holding tight because no one knows who's going to own WBD. And Ben Affleck has said he loves Batman. Am I missing anything?
I think that sums it up. Like in the first 2 sentences, summed up this entire story. And again, we're wondering where is the story?
Where's the dog?
I just want to know where's the story, because this is nothing exclusive. Oh, Zach has a new story idea. That was 5 years ago. We knew that.
Yeah.
So what are we talking about here? Now, the only thing, to be fair to them, the only thing that they kind of tried to say new here was the either or thing. If Paramount, you know, gets it, which again, we all could have assumed that based off, again, Turkey Al-Sheikh and his team, they're doing Brawler with Zack Snyder. And if they're in with the Paramount deal, we already know they were going to do a theatrical SnyderVerse film.
There was absolutely nothing new in this so-called art. This is more of a blog than an article, right? Like there's nothing in this with substance. It's like he basically just took a bunch of rumors and put it all together in a way to make a fake story. This is what this reads like. Because all of this, you could have literally grabbed it from different parts and places throughout the years, and you mesh it together, and you create this load of nonsense.
And he keeps forcing this Christopher Nolan angle. Nolan's not coming down and saying, "Oh, Zach, you're on Netflix now. Let's go over there."
And we know Christopher Nolan was an executive producer on the earlier SnyderVerse films,
right?
And that was yeah, he picked Zach, whatever. He knew that Zach was the guy to move forward with. But then he let Zach do his own thing once he saw he was up and running and things were going well. There's no reason for him to come back on the revival for what?
That's just weird. That's a weird angle they've been pushing for some reason. Okay. So let's just analyze, because again, I think this is just one paragraph is just kind of giving what they're thinking is SnyderVerse with Paramount. Again, I think we agree with that. The Netflix angle, I guess they're trying to imply, according to what they're hearing, right? They're trying to imply that if Netflix gets DC, that you're not going to see JO 2 and 3. That's what they're implying here.
Yeah.
Is that how you're taking it, or what? How do you see that?
That's what they're saying, basically. However, I don't think that really makes any sense. I mean, everybody looks at BVS like that's the Dark Knight Rises, or the Dark Knight, the graphic novel.
Dark Knight Return, yeah. So just very odd choices. Like, what my take on this? Okay, again, Paramount side, we can't say it enough. We favored it. I do believe, easy JO2 in theaters with Paramount. Netflix, I'm not counting out because that's a real possibility, right? Netflix may get this done somehow. And do I think it's just no chance for the Snyderverse? No, I believe we're getting like a Nightmare series at least from Netflix. The Dark Knight Returns thing, I believe that's kind of code with Zack Snyder saying, I'm going to finish my story. That's just what I feel when he says Dark Knight Returns. People could speculate how they want with that. But that's how I feel with Netflix. I don't think like it's just over, but I don't know about theatrical, right? I'm not confident in theatrical with Netflix. So
that's the problem with Netflix, and which is why a lot of us were aiming for Paramount to win the bid, because these movies in their epic scale, if they do get revived, they belong in IMAX, not just the theater. They should be IMAX.
It needs to clearly be in IMAX, like big screen. So this was someone asking here. You can finish SnyderVerse and Netflix. Yeah, and I believe my thing, I want theatrical. So I just want to be clear. Like when, like great. Yeah. If Netflix, like I said, we saw Snyder Cut on HBO Max, right? That's the first time I saw it. Then I got a chance. I was one of the few people that saw it in IMAX, Snyder Cut. And yes, I love it in IMAX. And I really wish that was my first time seeing it on IMAX, now on my small screen, HBO Max, right? So I favor Paramount for that. But now if we end up with Netflix, I deal with reality too, right? So if Netflix gets it, I don't think it's over. I don't think the Snyderverse is over. I still think Zach will get a chance. I just don't know if it's big screen. That's just kind of what I feel about that.
Right. And that's just the only thing that we don't like about it. I mean, we don't care how we get it. We just want it. We get it one way or the other. But of course, there is a preference for the movies.
Yeah. So that's just how I feel about that. Nothing personal against Netflix. I know it's a huge push for Netflix, and it's like, hey, I mean, that'd be great. We just want Zack Snyder content. Says the Dark Knight Returns to me means he's a Dark Knight returning to finish Superman saga. And that would be great. I like that angle because again, Zack, he knows what he's saying. You know what I mean? Zack, he knows how just to say just enough. And then when it's time for it, he's like, well, this is what I meant, overall, like that I'm finishing my story.
It's a metaphor. And we all seen how he likes those little cryptic messages. Like he did it when like the Assemble the Seven thing, when he first expanded the Snyderverse back then. And that graphic that he has with all those symbols and stuff like that. I don't know what the hell any of that stuff means, but he gets a kick out of, all that little stuff.
Yeah, and as I keep saying, at the end of the Snyder Cut, the last shot you had of Batman before the whole nightmare sequence is Batman standing on the Bat Tank. That's from Dark Knight Returns, and he had like some people tied up. If you remember at the end of the Snyder Cut, they look like the mutants from the Dark Knight Returns. So I was like, Zach's kind of hinting towards something there in the Snyder Cut, And then he's still talking about Dark Knight Returns. So I just think it's kind of like coded stuff that Zach is saying. So that remains to be seen. But as far as this article, we didn't really learn nothing with this, and I got like another angle I'm gonna bring up in just a minute with this. But this is kind of why I started this series, because you see a lot of people flocking to different rumors, And like you said, when we read the article, we're like, what? Like, what is this, bro? What is he doing? So yeah. So that's that. Let's see. Dark Knight Returns, intro to JO2. That's my other theory. Let's say if Netflix gets this and they're like, you can do like a low budget Dark Knight Returns. It'll probably be straight to Netflix. So I think you should get some theater consideration for that. And that's kind of leading you to the Nightmare movie. That would be great if Zach does that, with Dark Knight Returns. So
I mean, they were going to have the girl Robin in the Batman movie.
Yeah, so there's some angles there. With that. Let's see. Let's get this comment.
I don't think that Ben Affleck's Batman is old enough to do that story. I feel like I can see it being like another 10, 15 years in the future, but I just think it's a little early.
Yeah, that's debatable. Yeah, it's definitely debatable there. It says the thing that the pottery pit could be an old one taken in the days of BVS filming. To tease the plot. Well, no, because it has a new. He's starting to sell those clay sculptures. This is a recent thing on Instagram. But okay, they're saying to tease the plot. This could be just how you said it. Dark Knight Returns. But yeah. So yeah, just to comment on what they're saying here. I don't believe it's like an old pic from 2016 because Zach started making these clay sculptures now, like within the last year. So I think that's a new picture, is my point with that. So if it wasn't enough with this story and lack thereof, I should say, story, and how a lot of things are put online, and again, people kind of run with it. I kind of stumbled across something. There's a weird connection between this story this week and a different outlet last week. Let me just kind of bring up what I'm saying here instead of being all cryptic like Cosmic Book News. So I saw two different posts saying the same thing. You see on the right, Cosmic Book News. They put out, following recent reports, asked WB insiders for an update.
Like written the same way. Like
on the left,
copy and paste.
On the left, you have this account, right? Same tweet, and they're not crediting Cosmic Book News. So, and this is the weird part on this. The picture on the left, that tweet was first. So.
The Maximus Decimus account did it first.
Then Cosmic Book News comes out, and it comes out with their article. And people, you can go to their accounts. Their accounts right there. You can the one on the left, and I point out this one on the left because they pushed some article. This is like another blog site last week about Dark Knight Returns. And they actually had like some hidden truths in there. We went through or broke it down last Tuesday. But it was overall fluff. Okay. But just from the timeline, they tweeted this out first, didn't mention Cosmic News. Then Cosmic News comes out and then has an article like an hour after them. And it's like, is this Cosmic News burner? Maximus Decimus? That's what I'm thinking.
That's the first thing that came to my mind.
Like, what's going on here?
If it was an hour difference, if it was only an hour difference, Cosmic Book News, I guess they could have written that terrible article.
Oh yeah, you can chat GPT it now.
That wasn't chat GPT. That was
worse. That was worse than chat.
Yeah. He should have used chat GPT.
This is weird because like I said, like the article as is and what they're saying, we think it's a bunch of nothing. But it's just interesting. This account on the left, the Maximus account, they were pushing other rumors last week and even probably before that. And we kind of went through it. It reads different than Cosmic News, though, I think, a little bit. But I mean, this tweet doesn't. It's word for word.
It's exactly the same.
And so I just think that's Cosmic News burner. Maximus is their burner account.
I would assume so. That would be the easiest thing to believe. So, I mean, if they had some stuff mixed with fluff and being real, we would probably be safe to assume that he probably has some stuff in here that's also fluff and the parts that are real. Well, the parts that we know that are real are Ben Affleck wants to come back as Batman, like he would under Snyder. We know
Mm-hmm.
this has been documented. Snyder changed his storyboards because obviously, there's new endings. That's confirmed from Snyder himself. Like we know this. The fluff, we know it's fluff, is that James Gunn is not reporting to
Yeah.
DeLuca and Abdi. That's BS.
Totally wrong.
Yeah. And that, of course, no one knows who's gonna win WBD. Obviously,
we knew all this stuff before reading the article.
Yeah, exactly. There was nothing here that's new. The only thing that was new was that Netflix would only give us Batman. Why would they do that? That doesn't even make any sense from a business standpoint.
Exactly. Business wise, if Netflix, just assuming, right? If Netflix is saying, oh, if we get it, we're doing Dark Knight Returns because that's what the people want. Netflix knows people want the SnyderVerse. So if you're even going to use anything from the SnyderVerse, you're like, oh, and that's it, not JO2. That's asinine, actually.
It was actually one of the Netflix European accounts on Twitter that started the whole SnyderVerse resurrection thing on Netflix rumor, like a month before the bidding war even began. And then suddenly we started getting all these cryptic tweets and or on Instagram posts from Snyder, and other people started talking about the SnyderVerse even more, like Jay Oliva and Clay Enos was even posting stuff. Different people were posting stuff about the SnyderVerse all of a sudden after that Netflix European account mentioned something about it. So should we look into that? Like, does that mean anything? And if it does, then that would indicate that they would probably restore the SnyderVerse, not just Batman.
Exactly. I think that's just, again, the business side. Because I'm saying Netflix, if you're even thinking of Zack Snyder doing DC, you're talking about JL2. You're not just talking about, oh, we're just going to do this little bit. That don't make any sense.
That doesn't make any sense at all.
You know what I'm saying? So that was weird.
They're not going to make a whole movie about Batman just to test the waters. That's what all these tweets are for, and all the social media campaigns talking about, their European account making that thing about SnyderVerse. That was obviously to check the waters. Like, oh, what's the temperature out there? Do people still want this? And then Snyder doing his whole campaign, and everyone else that followed along talking about it. It's just to drive up attention or engagement, and to see if people still want it. And obviously, there's still a hunger for it.
Right. I think the engagement is there. I think all sides know it. Like I said, Paramount, the Saudis, they was going to do it instantly. And I think Netflix, if they're even thinking of Batfleck movie, they're thinking of everything right in some capacity.
Yeah, it's not one of the
overall.
others.
So, but just the weird thing though is that like that article wasn't really original, and not even their tweet, it seems, was original. There's some weird connection between these two accounts. So we'll see what they say in the upcoming weeks, and maybe on Rumor Roulette again. Let's check with the comments before we close this out. We're not quite Snyder Cut level, about 3 hours, not quite 4 this week. But
we're on a Christopher Nolan kind of time.
Yeah, it's like an Oppenheimer type of thing. So interesting. I thought it was gonna be more in that article, but then this weird connection here is just even weirder. That's the internet for you.
That's a great find, and it's funny because I think he follows you.
You saw that?
He's like, oh, damn, Still's talking about me.
So he's probably saying this on Twitter, like, oh man, the jig is up. Yeah. Like, hey, nothing personal. I believe everyone has sources. No one's 100%. But that was just a weird twist to that, to that whole Nothing Burger article. Interesting. Let's see here. Maria says Netflix is going to win. Paramount's just prolonging just for the hell of it.
We don't
what it's
really
feeling
know.
like, though. Right?
So wasn't there just an article that came out? I think you sent it to me actually, that the FCC chairman came out saying that the Netflix deal probably shouldn't go through. That's kind of a big deal. The regulators hate this.
Right. It's going to be some definite opposition.
It's not like a slam dunk how people are making it out to seem. The regulators can kill this immediately, like dead in its tracks. Nothing is for certain.
Yeah, it's definitely it. Like I said, I mean, those that were favoring the Netflix outcome, like I said, I wouldn't totally celebrate yet. Make sure things are closed, and and then like I said, in general, my stance has always been if Netflix gets this, I think they're gonna do a lot of great DC stuff. Like I'm low key excited for that aspect. But when we're talking about SnyderVerse, like I'm sorry, I want theatrical, man.
Mhm.
I want theatrical.
Yeah.
And that's why I favored Paramount with that.
Right
so.
now, everything is 50-50 on who gets this. It doesn't matter if it looks like Netflix is winning the bid because Warner Brothers accepted it and that's what they want to give it to. At the end of the day, it needs to be approved by the government and all the government bodies. And if that doesn't happen, then it doesn't matter what WBD wants.
Yeah. So we'll definitely see it, but we've been following it pretty close, like just all the language of it and stuff, and it's it's not 100% yet. But I would, if I'm favoring something right now, I would say I favor Netflix, even if it's like 51% to 49.
Right.
But I would
But
give
it's
the nod to
close.
Netflix right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
It still could swing because
Mhm.
what over a month ago, it was like 60% Paramount.
Yep.
It was almost like just a given, like, oh, they're gonna get this,
Mhm.
and it swung so hard since then. So we'll see. We'll see with that. Got the comment here saying I just watched The Rip, OMG, good movie on Netflix, the Ben Affleck, Matt Damon film. I know Jules hasn't watched it.
Nope.
It's a good watch. It's a good popcorn film, like just something to watch.
Okay.
If you're snowed inside your house. With ambulances outside all the time. This is a good movie to watch.
Yeah, I don't understand what's going on. Like the snow hasn't even started yet, and people are already like going to the hospital. Like, come on.
Yeah, that's kind of wild. So as we round this out, this was fun. Hopefully, I get Saturday afternoons open like this, and I'll drag Jules as much as I can to join. Overall, interesting stories today. Interesting rumors. So it's gonna be fun. I got a lot of stuff we could do, but I'm not gonna add another hour to this show. But we're gonna do some more definitely in the future with that. Jules, what's kind of on your radar right now, or something you plan on watching, or ain't no sports and nothing you watching right now, right? Or what's going on with you?
Not really. I mean, my team is out. I mean, I'm in off-season mode. Obviously, I'll watch the Super Bowl. It's basically a holiday at this point. On my personal watch list, I'm just chilling right now. I'm just like rewatching some old stuff, or just to feel good stuff. I know I have a lot of shows to catch up on, but
3 more hours. No, I'm thinking about cheese and stuff. I need to go.
Yeah, somebody got to buy me some lunch.
We should Grubhub some McDonald's or something there.
I do have a discount in my email.
See, I do got some credit. I may use that today. I ain't going outside.
Lunch on sale.
So definitely though, like I said, if it works out Saturdays, we'll keep doing that. But worst case scenario, I know me and Jules will at least collab and record some stuff if we have to. But we like the live. We like the live audience.
Yep.
Jules was like, we gotta get that live feeling back. I was like, yeah, we gotta get that back. And yeah, Rumor Roulette is here to stay.
There's going to be a ton of rumors with this year. Well, we're keeping an eye on the Paramount Netflix love triangle.
Definitely, it's been some good responses to this. Just
universe.
Combing through these stuff, these rumors. Master Universe, and Darth Maul.
Where's Darth Maul? He's having a movie.
It's like I think it's like an animated series or something like that.
Oh, okay.
It looks pretty cool though. I need to cover that soon. Street Fighter, definitely looking forward to Street Fighter. It's gonna be a cool,
It's a good year for movies. Yeah,
like we got a lot. Like I said, starting around springtime, I think it's gonna be something hot every month. Pretty much. So
I think it gets kicked off with Mario. Go from there.
Yeah.
Oh, the Devil Wears Prada too. Yeah, I completely forgot about that one.
That's your jam right there.
That's a good one. The first one was great from just a pure filmmaking standpoint. It was great.
Do you think, and like I said, we're closing out, but I'm still asking Jules questions. But do you think, a few questions pops up to people when they see this list, and obviously we go right to DC And like, is Supergirl gonna get like just smashed right there?
Yeah, Toy Story 5, like right before, yeah. And then Moana, the kids are gonna go watch Moana and Toy Story 5. Yeah, no one cares about Supergirl. I mean, it's not Superman. We don't know how these things go. And then the Odyssey is coming right after Moana, and then Spider-Man right after that. And then Clayface is sandwiched between Spider-Man and Street Fighter. The Clayface is that's a waste of time.
Clayface, they know, like, okay, low budget, like, hope we get 17 days out of that. like Clayface.
Oh, well, we skipped the whole month of August, so no, Clayface is good done.
Yeah. Whatever. Yeah, if it's a decent film, I think it'll make a little money. That's actually a good spot.
Yeah,
that they're in. Yeah, because they're a month before Street Fighter. Supergirl, like I said, right after Toy Story 5, you got the second week of Toy Story 5. Easily is going to beat Supergirl's first week, right? Because they're going to be, it's a box office battle right there. And then as Supergirl tries to recover, I think Toy Story can run like a month until Moana. I mean, as far as like just getting numbers,
Toy Story is definitely going to dominate.
So it's going to kill everything in June. That comes the rest of June, early July. Yep. And then Moana will take over live action. I believe, those live action Disney films, they hit pretty good.
You have Moana, and Moana will have its own audience, and then the Odyssey will have its own audience. So they won't really impact each other. Yeah,
that's going to be that whole
Barbenheimer situation. Yep.
Yeah, so those don't hurt. When you have different genres like that, Disney, and then like Nolan, like serious adult stuff, you can drop same day. Even. Right. That's what we saw with Barbie and Oppenheimer. So, but it is going to be interesting. Odyssey better be front loaded, because I'm telling you right now, Spider-Man Brand New Day is going to nuke the summer. Like they may approach 2 billion. I'm just throwing it out right now, but I'm just saying I'm really excited from what I've heard and seen of Spider-Man Brand New Day. That's going to be huge for the summer. So,
and it's Spider-Man. Everybody loves Spider-Man.
Yeah, and they're getting back to the more, I know we say what's comic book accuracy, but you probably get some animated vibes. I know you're kind of more of the crowd that like the animated series. So me too, 90s animated. You're going to get vibes of that. If you remember those episodes where they had like a team up of villains and stuff. And
those are the best episodes.
Yeah, Peter's kind of going through his existential crisis and stuff like that. That's what this movie is.
Yeah,
like, and you got the Punisher. Remember the Punisher was in the animated series?
Right.
Man,
Blade,
they're clowning. They might as well throw Blade. They should just throw Blade in this. Don't even make the Blade movie.
Who's Blade? Who is Blade?
Hey, just grab Mahershala Ali. Say, put these sunglasses on. Just put these teeth in, and just run through this film.
Wesley Snipes might not like that. He's gonna show up.
I would I mean, if we're gonna be real, like Wesley, when he walked into Deadpool Wolverine, I screamed like a little child. Like when I saw Wesley, like, when he walked in, I was like, wow. Like I kind of already knew he was coming, but I was just like, this is exciting.
I mean, it's Wesley Snipes. Like he has his own, as the kids say, like he has his own aura to him. And those Blade movies, like he can't be topped as Blade. Like Mahershala Ali he's a good actor and everything, but Wesley is just a cool guy. Like he emanates cool.
Was it close to Cyclops level though? I sort of.
What do you
Cyclops level was like something like when you saw the Cyclops teaser.
When I versus Blade?
Yeah, I mean Blade.
No, not no.
I was like, yo, but Cyclops. I was just like $2 billion, like just ridiculous.
The Cyclops thing. There's
ridiculous.
Just too much lore behind that Cyclops image and why it resonated so much with us because we were there in the early days and we had to deal with so much crap.
And he got the blue suit and like the accurate. Oh man,
right?
That's like animated series. Like,
and
that's
he's
what
not only
doing.
that, but like he's getting like his due. Like, all right, this is the leader of the X-Men. Finally, he's getting respect.
Like less Wolverine. I mean, I love Wolverine. We all love
Wolverine, but he's a side character.
He's not the leader of the X-Men.
Supporting cast, right?
If it's not Cyclops, you better pump up Storm more.
Cyclops better be dead if Storm is leader.
Right. It's Cyclops first as far as leader. And then we all accept Storm as like the second in command or Team B or something like that. Then Jean, you got to do Jean. This is all before Wolverine. You got to get these top characters together.
Right.
So
that's why that image was like amazing. It was just.
Yeah. That that just hit, man.
It's
just
righting a massive wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I would love the idea if they just did a Fox X-Men film, like seriously, before Avengers.
I would watch it.
You
just
get
for
$1 billion
old
just for
time's
that
sake.
alone.
Yeah, just to fix everybody.
That would be perfect. That'd be perfect. I mean, I just watched Days of Future Past last week, and like you could have did a movie right after that.
Yeah.
Just do the after he comes back to the future. So yeah, that's we'll see. Like I said, nothing's kind of hitting that level. And like I said, the rest of the year we'll be touching on everything. Dune and Avengers Doomsday on the same day, supposedly, or same weekend or whatever.
Same weekend, the 18th. What's that?
Yeah.
Why is that 18th and the 16th? You got that in out of order.
It's probably a typo. That's not my fault. But it's supposed to be the same day, I believe.
Okay, that's the same audience. That's gonna hurt both of their box offices.
I think if anything, I mean, it's clear it will hurt Dune before Avengers.
Yeah,
with X-Men and Avengers, like
Dune 3 should have made $1 billion, and this might stop that from happening.
Yeah, now I agree with you on that. I don't think it's gonna make $1 billion. I think it's gonna be good. I think Denny V, the director, he's solid. I really like the first one actually better than the second one.
Okay, yeah, the second one has a lot less memorable moments for me.
Yeah, I was sort of, I ain't gonna say I almost fell asleep on it, but I was sort of feeling like Matt Reeves the Batman in the middle.
Oh no, that's
in the middle of the second Dune film. It was too much Zendaya. I don't know. I don't know if I'm
okay.
a fan of
I
her,
can see
but,
that. I think people are just kind of getting tired of certain actors.
They were kind of forcing her. I was just like, okay, I know you want her to be a star. I get it.
She's a star. You don't need to it's just she doesn't have that like movie star actress quality that we were used to when we were growing up. Like you had like these are movie stars. You could see them multiple times, and it's just cool to see them. We don't really have that today. Like Zendaya is just not that. Like she's good. She's a good actress in what she does, in her certain roles, but she's not like superstardom. Like I want to see her all the time.
I think like I don't want to say like she's typecast. It's like I think she only can play. Well, actually, I didn't see that Challengers film. I don't know. I wasn't drawn.
Yeah, it didn't call me.
For them, like she basically had a threesome with two dudes. That doesn't call me to the theaters. Like that just
right,
doesn't.
and that was like the whole marketing thing. Was just like, oh, Zendaya and a threesome with like
just lean. Yeah,
just like all right, what am I supposed to do with that?
One of those dudes, I forget his name off the top of my head, but one of those dudes in the film, he's in the new Rian Johnson Knives Out film.
Oh, okay.
And he's actually really good. He's actually really good in that film. But I just didn't see the challenge. I was like, that you're not marketing this for me. I really don't want to see this threesome. I really didn't.
Like, what is the story? That's the plot? Like,
where is the story?
Okay.
Where is the story? Not a lot of Zendaya fans in the chat, I see.
People are just tired. Just like,
So last one here says the word for Mando and Grogu. Have we heard have you heard anything come across your feed?
Nope. Not at all.
So I think I heard less than even you with Mando and Grogu.
This movie should have came out 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
They took way too long. They should have came out when it was at the height of The Mandalorian. Now it's just like what they had. Even like this last season, people weren't even that thrilled with it. People felt like they were holding back for the movie, and the movie has taken so long.
Yeah,
no one's even talking about Baby Yoda anymore.
Right, and that was like the hottest thing after season one, like the first episode. I remember I was at work when they dropped Mandalorian, and of course I shouldn't look online if I want to get spoiled. But everyone was like, "Oh crap, Baby Yoda!" Like they was going crazy after the first episode. And I think what they should have did was make the movie after season 2. They should have made this Mando Grogu movie after the Luke Skywalker moment in season 2.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and make this movie. You would have had this out already, and because like Star Wars is doing nothing right now.
I was just gonna say this is coming out in like the worst phase for Star Wars ever, because Disney has done such damage to the brand.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, Disney. That comment was crazy.
Yeah, I kind of ignored it. Going, oh, that might not be appropriate.
But I can't believe Jules is saying something might not be appropriate. Like, the tables have flipped on the panel here. But anyway, on that note, We're going. That was just an interesting comment.
Just made Sill's day with that one.
It's gonna be again a lot of films to talk about, a lot of rumors to talk about. We're gonna go and slide on out of here. Much appreciated y'all catching again the live show. We will try to do more. Yes, I know people will request to get Jules back. We will try to do that when she's able to. So I already know what's happening. Much love to Sim Nation. Till next time, myself, Jules, Bar on Twitter. We out of here.
Watchmen forever vigilant, steady watching and listening, disciplined, militant, killing these dudes that started visiting. What's the latest word, yo, Sil? We need to know. Tell us what you heard, yo, Sil. We need to know the ins and outs. Who's walking out, buying in? We need to know your thoughts on what's new, what you do to stream a hell of a show. Let's go. One hell of a show. Let's go.